Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the historic Redstone Field, where tonight the Brownsville Falcons will be playing host to the Uniontown Red Raiders in a matchup of Fayette County independent football teams. The National Road Rumble, if you will. This is Joshua Scully alongside Gary Frankhauser. We very much appreciate you taking the time to join us this evening on the WMBS Facebook live stream. We'd like to start by recognizing a few of our sponsors who have made tonight's broadcast possible. Are you looking for fast, friendly notary service that is open in the evening? Sandy Howe Notary Services, LLC, located on Dry Knob Road in Smithfield, is here for your vehicle, boat, motorcycle, ATV registrations and transfers, plate renewals, and more. They offer new PA and Maryland plates and West Virginia title applications. They serve Uniontown, Smithfield, Fairchance, and all surrounding areas. Open weekends 10 to 8:30, Saturdays 9 to 5. Sandy Howe Notary Services, Dry Knob Road in Smithfield. Call 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you by name. Visit the haunting world of the Hill Family Hostel House. Experience sinister sideshows and eerie exhibits in the Twisted Nightmare Freak Show. And journey into the heart of terror on The Trail, all at Haunted Hills Estate. Located at 236 Rolling Hills Estate Road in Uniontown, Haunted Hills offers $5 off Friday with high school football ticket stubs and discounts on Sundays for students. Visit hauntedhillsestate.com for dates and hours of operation, attraction details, and more. 3 attractions, 1 location. Visit if you dare. Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years of experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com, and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. We're ready now for the pregame show. The pregame show tonight is brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes. They will get you ready for the game and are located at 217 West Main Street in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-9812 for the Sprouse Insurance Group. Joshua Scully with you tonight alongside Gary Frankhauser. Gary, we're here on a late September evening. It's about 75 degrees, and it's actually turning into a nice evening. We had some rain early, no sun yet, but the clouds look like maybe they're starting to break up for us just a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very comfortable evening here this evening in Republic, and the rain probably softened that field up a little bit. We have natural turf here at Redstone Field, and it's nice to see that. It all striped out really nice, and the crowd is filtering in both from Uniontown and from Brownsville, so it should be a pretty festive evening here this evening as Brownsville is going to look to try to get on the scoreboard here tonight, get in the winning column, and Uniontown, coming off that defeat to Albert Gallatin, will look to try to get back in the win column.
Gary mentioning, of course, that Brownsville comes into this evening not yet having scored. They have played 3 games against Bentworth, Bel Air, and Martins Ferry. Those last 2 opponents come to us from Ohio. Brownsville has been outscored 48-0, 41-0, and 49-0. These 2 teams are familiar with each other in the capacity that over the course of the last couple of seasons they have met 4 times. In those 4 games, the Red Raiders have emerged victorious each time and have outscored Brownsville 153-15. But Gary, just today in the Uniontown Herald-Standard, there was an article about, of course, this evening's games, and the new coach for Brownsville said, look, we're ready just to take the next step. And I think that's the right move for this program.
Absolutely. He steps into a very tough situation at Brownsville, having taken over last week. So he has a week of practice to learn the kids. But he's familiar with this program. Vaughn Braddock has been involved with the Brownsville sports program for many, many years. And he's helped by Scooter Roebuck, the longtime the Brownsville athletic director. So they're very familiar with the program. They know the kids. Hopefully they can motivate them to perform here this evening, and we can have a competitive contest.
And we had an opportunity prior to beginning the broadcast tonight to go down on the field and talk to the coaches about starting lineups, about players in particular. We had a chance to see Brownsville warming up And Brownsville definitely looked pretty sharp. They completed some long passes during their warm-up period, some great catches in the end zone, and we'll see how Brownsville is able to stretch the field perhaps against these Uniontown Red Raiders tonight. We're going to step aside for just one moment here during the Sproul's Insurance Group pregame show. They're going to get you ready for the game tonight. We're going to talk a little bit more about our sponsors this evening. When we come back, Gary is going to share for you the starting lineups.
George Huck-Rattay, a proud veteran and proud to support the coaches, players, and staff of Uniontown, Laurel Highlands, and Brownsville here this evening. George Huck-Rattay, Democratic candidate for PA State Representative in the 51st District, asking everyone for their vote in the November general election. This message has been paid for by the committee to elect George Huck-Rattay. UPMC Rehab Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurances are accepted. Experienced therapists, convenient location and hours, part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access at 724-437-7500. UPMC Rehabilitation Institute.
Well, welcome back to the Sproul's Insurance Group pregame show. And we're here at historic Redstone Field on a late September Friday. We can feel autumn in the air tonight. There's a nice breeze blowing to the north, although at this particular moment it has died off just a little bit. Earlier, moments ago, it was quite a bit stronger. We'll see if that factors in to the game at all this evening. We do want to share our starting lineups with you this evening, and Gary was kind enough to put those together for us tonight. And we're going to defer to Gary here for the starting lineups for this contest. Thank you very much, Gary.
First, starting with the homestanding Brownsville Area High School Falcons. At one of the running backs, and they do a lot of this by committee, Xavier Vargas, number 2. He's a 5'6" junior, 145-pounder. Also at running back, Jaden Praster. He's a junior also at 180 pounds. He wears number 3. Tight end is by committee. They'll be rotating 4 guys in at tight end. Number 5, Omarion Grayson, a senior, 5'9". Number 7, Jonathan Vassbinder. He's a senior. Number 21, Jeremiah Green. He's a sophomore at 6'2". And number 21, Nevaeh Jordan, who is a sophomore, will get the time at tight end. At quarterback is Bryce Horabik. Is that correct?
I believe it is Hurabik, but I could be mistaken about that. When we talked to the coaches beforehand, I believe it's Hurabik.
Hurabik. So we'll go with that. The fullback is Elijah Booker. He's a sophomore. He wears number 35. Across the offensive line at center, Anthony Rico, number 60. Number 64, Cameron Schumar is a guard. Number 68, Stephen Campbell is a guard. At tackle is Michael Eulery, number 70. And at the other tackle, number 75, Nolan Hudock. So that's your starters for Brownsville. And I'm sure they're going to be substituting frequently here tonight with the squad that they have and trying to get everyone some experience. On the Uniontown side, on the offensive side, left tackle was Gary Smitley, a 6'3", 300-pound senior, number 77. At left guard, number 76, Jaden Darnell, a 6'5", 300-pound senior. At center, number 70, Cam Watkins, a 6'3", 300-pound senior. At right guard, number 56, Connor Hebda, a 6', 220-pound junior. Or number 52, Chase Brumley, a 6'2", 220-pound senior. At right tackle, number 68, Leonard Tucker, 5'11", 250-pound senior. Or number 67, Elijah Holmes, a 6'4", 265-pound senior. In the backfield, at quarterback tonight again is going to be number 28, Torrey Grooms. Cam Dugan still having the injury. He might see some time tonight, but Torrey Grooms will be at quarterback. At wide receiver, number 1, Calvin Winfrey. He's a 6'1" senior. And number 2, Kellen Milsom, a 6'1", 175-pound senior. In the backfield, number 22, Michael Thomas, a 5'11", 200-pound sophomore. Number 30, Jameer Walker, a 6', 190-pound sophomore. David Ranatu coming off that injury. Great to see him back out on the field after that little scary episode last week.
Absolutely.
He's a 5'10", 220-pound senior. And you also see Nathan Searock back there. He wears number 3. Torrey Grooms, and they'll also put Calvin Winfrey in that backfield. So the Red Raiders have shown some ability to move the ball throughout the season, and it's going to be a big task for Brownsville to stop their athletes.
That's a very good point, Gary. Uniontown has been a big play team, and every game they've played this season, regardless of the outcome, they have queued up some big plays. We want to thank SWGI specialists for sponsoring our starting lineups this evening. Now U.S. Digestive Health at Uniontown, a different name, but the same team providing the same exceptional digestive care to our communities. Wishing the very best of luck to our Fayette County teams. That's SWGI, now of course U.S. Digestive Health. We are seeing the teams come onto the field here as we continue our pregame show. And one thing we want to note about Brownsville, this Falcons team does have a game to mark on their calendar. Uniontown going into next week will, of course, be on a bye. The Brownsville Falcons, though, next Friday will get the Carrick Raiders, who Brownsville was able to defeat last season 36-30. And, Gary, you probably remember, as many of our listeners will, that Brownsville was in something of a slump at that time, was able to snap a long streak with that win over Carrick.
They did, and Uniontown was able to handle Carrick this year, getting their 500th school history win against Carrick down in Pittsburgh. So they do have some experience, and Brownsville should have some film on Carrick that they could at least look at and maybe game plan.
That's a very good point, especially following this game, seeing where Brownsville is able to fall tonight against the Uniontown Red Raiders, and then perhaps matching themselves up against Carrick appropriately thereafter. Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address, plus seriously good service. Now, that's something to smile about. Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross River Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to SproulsInsurance.com. Erie Rate Lock is not guaranteed. We'll take a pause now for the national anthem. Welcome back to the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night, the Sproul's Insurance Group pregame show live here from Redstone Field as the Brownsville Falcons and the Uniontown Red Raiders are now just about 3 minutes from kickoff. Would you like to have this pharmacy experience? You pull up, walk a short distance to the counter, wait a very short time for your prescription, ask questions, and still pay the same copay as you would at a large chain store? Experience this at Peachin Pharmacy inside Peachin Market in downtown Connellsville. They also offer the lowest costs available, free prescription delivery, and an app to manage your prescriptions. Visit Peachin Pharmacy or go online to peachinpharmacy.com.
At Grace Veterinarian Services, they know your pets are more than just pets. They're family. With the latest technologies and techniques, cutting-edge laser surgical technology, your pet will spend less than time recovering and more time back on their feet. All 4 of them. Their goal is to give your pet the very best care. Grace Veterinarian Services offers a wide variety of services that include wellness exams and preventative care, vaccinations, and surgical services such as spay, neuter, and dental. For an appointment, call 724-437-4191 or visit gvs.vet.
In a world of big corporations, there is something special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and putting the community first. Come experience the Mike Kelly difference today. When you buy from the Mike Kelly Automotive Group, you buy from family.
At Chips Residential Services, they're worried about your heater and your AC. Is your heat on the fritz? Has your AC stopped working? Are your pipes backed up? For all your heating, air conditioning, electrical, and plumbing emergencies, Chips Residential Services is here for you, located in Uniontown and offering 24-hour emergency services. Call 724-366-8046 and get the help you need today from Chips Residential Services.
Misfit Pooch Mobile Spa is a fully mobile dog spa serving Fayette and Westmoreland counties, and they are ready to get your pooch looking great today. Why wait? Make the call to Misfit Pooch Mobile Spa today, 724-912-1127. That's 724-912-1127 for Misfit Pooch Mobile Spa, and get your dog looking great indeed today. Welcome back to the Sproul's Insurance Group pregame show. Sorry, Gary, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but we're just a couple minutes away from kickoff here. Any final thoughts before we get underway?
Well, I like the crowd. I mean, it's really a lot of support down here for both Brownsville and Uniontown, and good job by the Brownsville band with the national anthem. That was well done. And we're going to take a look at the coin toss here.
That's right. The captains are at midfield now. This is, of course, an independent football matchup between Uniontown and Brownsville this evening here at Redstone Field. We're really excited about this. As it was described to us pregame, this is a game that's happening because people want it to happen. People want to see these young men have a chance to demonstrate their skill on the football field from both of these schools, Brownsville and Uniontown, and tonight we're going to get to see just that. And we're really thankful for this opportunity, too, with Uniontown and Brownsville, of course, both being independent and needing to fill their own schedules. The fact that they have been able to match up a few times over the last few seasons, and then, of course, here again tonight at Redstone Field is a really great opportunity. Gary pointed out to us the crowd is really good tonight, and we're thankful for that, too. The weather looks like it's going to cooperate for us. The clouds are indeed parting, and there's, Gary, even a couple rays of sun may be poking through over the south end of the stadium here.
You're right, and we got to commend Billy Dice. We weren't thinking we were going to have Wi-Fi here and be able to give this to you on the Facebook Live WMBS page, but we're doing our best, and the live video stream is going to be brought to you by Stewart Collision Services, LLC, and Brewston Chiropractic Studios.
And we want to thank the Sproul's Insurance Group for sponsoring our pregame show. They got you ready for the game this evening. That's the Sproul's Insurance Group and agent David Hughes. We very much, as always, appreciate all of their help in putting the pregame show together. Truly, we mean that from our hearts. Thank you so much. Now we're ready to go here at Redstone Field, and the kick is off, and it's going to be fielded by the Red Raiders at about the 28-yard line, and bringing it back through several Falcons and to the 45 is going to be number 5, David Ranatu, so he makes his presence known right away. And Gary, I think the reason that Bill Dice was able to get this good Wi-Fi connection for us, he went up to the second floor of the press box. He found the stairs. We were looking for the stairs here when we arrived.
Put his life in danger.
That's right. We were thinking that there was a second level, and we're still looking for it. We later found out the second level has been removed as the press box has been recently renovated. Calvin Winfrey going to be under center here for the Uniontown Red Raiders. Michael Thomas and number 30, Jamari Walker, alongside. It's going to be a pitch to Walker to our side, and Walker is across midfield where he is hit by number 21. Number 21 for the Brownsville Falcons is Neova Jordan, and it's a good game there for Walker into the Falcons territory. The Brownsville Falcons tonight wearing their black uniform, white number, white helmet. The Uniontown Red Raiders in a white and maroon uniform, maroon pants, white top, some maroon trim. And the Red Raiders are going to have a 2nd and 1 following a 9-yard pickup from Walker.
So interesting, Cal Winfrey starting at quarterback, and he's going to take it himself.
And Winfrey does keep this one and finds some space along our sideline where he's again driven out of bounds by Jordan. So Jordan involved in both stops here for the Brownsville Falcons.
With a 12-yard pickup there.
The Uniontown Red Raiders working left to right as we describe it to get this one underway. 45 seconds into the contest, the Uniontown Red Raiders have their first down and are in good shape here in Brownsville Falcons territory. Winfrey stays in at quarterback. The Uniontown Red Raiders have had quite a few different quarterbacks over the past few weeks. This is going to be an inside give to Grooms, who bounces it outside and is down near the first down marker. Good gain on the play by Notorious Grooms. Grooms and Winfrey, such a dynamic duo. You may be familiar with their exploits on the basketball court, but here on the football field so far this season, they have been just as explosive and creating the same sort of dangerous dynamic for opponents, to say the very least. Here's Thomas and Walker in the backfield again with Winfrey. Brownsville's going to send a run blitz in right through the middle. Walker avoids that, bounces at our side, tries to break a tackle, but is pulled down by number 24, and that's going to be Jeremiah Green. Good stop there by him.
6-yard pickup for Walker.
The Uniontown Red Raiders continue to move the football. One thing that is definitely true about both of these teams, and I was impressed as Gary was running through that Brownsville lineup for us pregame, there's a lot of size on these offensive lines. There's a lot of size on both sides of the ball, so we should definitely see some work getting done in the trenches tonight. Here's Winfrey with split backs, Walker and Thomas to either side. Winfrey's going to escape to his left, wants a big pass down the field, and he is looking for Notorious Grooms, just misses him. That one would have gone for 6. Very, very close play. And we'll see if the Red Raiders are going to follow up with another pass perhaps here on 2nd and long. 10-11 remaining in the first quarter. Uniontown so far so good, driving the ball now to the Brownsville 20-yard line. And Winfrey going to keep this one again. He's going to roll to his left. It's a little pass this time, and it's complete to number 22, Michael Thomas, who makes a couple men miss. And he's finally tripped up by number 2, Xavier Vargas. Vargas is a name we expect to say quite often tonight for Brownsville. He's sort of a spark plug on both sides of the ball.
An 11-yard gain gives him 1st and goal.
Good-looking work there again by Winfrey, escaping the pressure and throwing across his body to complete that pass. Winfrey, Thomas, and Walker again in the backfield. Pitch is going to go to Walker coming our way. Walker has space, and he is across the 5 and across the goal line for a touchdown.
So from 10 yards out, Walker with the first score for the Red Raiders.
And Walker drew some contact there right at the goal line, too. Brownsville was not going to make that easy, and Walker bursts through a couple of bodies into the end zone to put the Uniontown Red Raiders on the board with their first 6 points of the night. A very effective drive here for the Uniontown Red Raiders. And now David Ranatu is on for the extra point attempt. Nathan Searock, the holder. The snap is good, and we're going to have a flag on the near sideline.
You can take that on the kickoff if they desire, or maybe they could move it up and go for 2.
Penalty is going to be against the Brownsville Falcons, offsides. And the penalty is going to be declined. Ranatu is not going to move. Searock keeps the same spot. Here's the snap. Searock handles it. Ranatu's kick is on the way. And from here on the first floor of the press box, it looks to be good, and it is. And the Uniontown Red Raiders add an extra point here with 9:38 to play in the first quarter. It's the Uniontown Red Raiders 7 and the Brownsville Falcons nothing. The Falcons will be touching the ball for the first time here following this kickoff, and we'll see what the Falcons are able to do offensively.
So that was a 7-play drive. And scoring on the 10-yard run was Walker at the 9:38 mark, and extra point good. And that drive summary is brought to you by Bartok Lawn and Care. Summer fun can be rough on your lawn. Brown patches, stubborn weeds, feeling defeated. Don't worry, Bartok Lawn Care is here to help, offering custom blended fertilization and weed control programs to revive your tired lawn. Also running incredible fall aeration and overseeding specials for new and existing customers. Locally owned and operated. Contact Jared at 724-366-3303 or visit bartoklawncare.com for more information.
And we have an official helping David Ranitou here on our C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night as we are back at Redstone Field. A little bit of help with the football here. And Ranitou prepares himself, checks with his teammates, and here's the kick. It's going to bounce through the middle, and Brownsville will momentarily mishandle it, but it's eventually scooped up by Jaden Praster. And Praster, unfortunately for the Falcons, did not have much room to work with. He's quickly swallowed up by the Uniontown Red Raiders kick coverage unit. And Brownsville will be starting with the football just about at their 21-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Falcons. I really like the Falcons uniforms, Gary, working in press boxes. I'm sure you've had this experience. We see some number uniform combinations that are really difficult. The Red Raiders, of course, are always safe because they're either white on maroon or maroon on white. Sometimes teams like to mix in the gold or silver numbers. Here we've got clear as day, white number, black uniform.
It's torture.
Under center for the Falcons, Bryce Hurbick. Hurbick going to take the snap, and he's immediately pursued by the Uniontown Red Raiders, and that one is going to fall incomplete. Hurbick had been looking off to his right, trying to get a pass out to Jaden Praster, but the Red Raiders were on him very quickly there, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Had him open in the flat there momentarily, but with the pressure up the middle, really not a chance to complete that pass, but decently designed play.
Brownsville Falcons, of course, looking for their first points of the season, and it would be, I think, a real testament to the influence that Coach Braddock is going to have on this group of young men, and I know that he will, to see them put some points on the board tonight. Hurbick hands off in the inside over top of the right guard, and Praster battles forward. Several Red Raiders in on the stop, and he escapes.
Loose.
And Praster is off to the races across midfield, shakes a tackle, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. The Red Raiders in hot pursuit, but they're not going to get him. And Coach Braddock, there is your touchdown, sir.
Flags.
And we've got a flag on the play.
But I think it's defensive face mask.
And what a play that was. Jaden Praster somehow comes out of the middle of all that. Virtually every player.
79-yard run if it stands, and I believe it will because it is a face mask against the defense. And that'll be a 79-yard touchdown run by Jaden Praster.
Well, the Brownsville Falcons score their first points of the season in dramatic fashion. Jaden Praster taking it to the house and working very hard to do it, and that really brought both the Brownsville band and student section to life here at Redstone Field. Of course, Redstone Field, nearly 100 years of football here now. Some great games over the years, some great plays. That one probably belongs in the history books. That was an impressive run.
They're going to go for 2. Now what do we have? Some problem. It could be a delay here.
Hurbick will step up under center. And he's going to drop back. There's a flag.
Got offside on Uniontown.
He had faked the handoff.
That's a dead ball foul.
To Elijah Booker. Looked to throw, and there is indeed a flag. So an exciting start here, Gary.
Yeah, absolutely.
We talked about how incredible of an opportunity it is for these two teams to have just this occasion to play, and the excitement that the rivalry has created, the proximity of these two schools, and 2 touchdowns
within 3 minutes of the first quarter.
Incredible.
But that POW that Prater came out of, Praster came out of, was still moving, and there was no whistle, so and it's offside again, could be. He's rolling right. Prater, he's going to be hit in the backfield, so Praster not able to get in for the 2-point.
And that's going to keep the score at 7-6, and I do not see any flags this time. Brownsville trying to squeeze the running back in there across the right tackle and not quite able to get there. The Uniontown Red Raiders stand firm. You're listening to the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night here on the WMBS Facebook page. Our live stream is certainly one that we want you to keep in mind for the future. We try to do this every week, and we really look forward to bringing these football contests to your screen at home. Go see Jeff Varney, by the way, at Wright Honda in Uniontown. If you're looking for a new vehicle and don't want to go straight through all of that hassle, just see Jeff Varney, General Sales Manager at Wright Honda in Uniontown. He's committed to making sure you get the best deal. Call Jeff Varney today at 724-812-2749. That's Jeff Varney at 724-812-2749. WrightHondaCars.com.
So apparently there was a personal foul or an unsportsmanlike conduct, we're not sure, that has allowed Brownsville to move up 15 yards on the kick. They're going to kick inside Uniontown territory at the 45.
Handling the kick is Larry Wade, one of the Brownsville Falcons seniors.
One of the things that has plagued Uniontown all season are penalties, and that was a huge one there.
We'll see if the Uniontown Red Raiders are able to make the best possible situation out of this. And the ball is going to be now relocated back to the Brownsville 40.
So I got to erase that penalty and erase my comment.
We'll see if Brownsville now is able to send this one deep, try to keep the Uniontown Red Raiders from repeating their impressive feat. Granted, it was Brownsville with the big play, but the Uniontown Red Raiders looked very efficient. We'll see if Calvin Winfrey is going to be returning as the quarterback on this drive. He looked pretty good on the first time out for the Red Raiders.
Grooms deep for Uniontown.
Notorious Grooms will stand at his own 21. Here's the kick, and it's going to go practically right to him. He hops up in the air and seizes it. Now he's on the move. He's got the 40-yard line, 45 across midfield, and Grooms has room to work with here near our sideline, back toward the hash marks, and he's finally pulled down. Great return there by Notorious Grooms. A couple of Falcons in to make the stop.
47-yard return there by Grooms from his own 25 into Brownsville territory at the 27-yard line.
So Uniontown now back in business. 7-6 your score, 8:59 to play. We've had a very exciting first few minutes here at Redstone Field, and it will be Calvin Winfrey under center. He's going to be flanked on either side by Walker and Ranatu. Brownsville going to send a blitz up the middle. Handoff goes to Ranatu, and he's going to be twisted down after a short gain. In the midst of all that, making the stop for Brownsville is number 9. That's Elijah Kriya Makbar.
We'll give him 4 on the carry.
2nd and 6 for the Uniontown Red Raiders now. Split out wide to our side for Uniontown, Kellen Milsom. We know he's a very gifted athlete too. Handoff is going to go inside across left tackle to Walker, and he's going to be near the first down marker. So many of these Uniontown Red Raider football players, of course, you may be familiar with the names due to their success on the basketball court. They've had some success on the football field too this season. There's no doubt about that. Uniontown has been the big play team. Tonight they are grinding out yardage every play.
Give him 5 on that, brings up 3rd and 1.
3rd down for Uniontown. Winfrey going to hand off inside. Brownsville nearly able to stop that one, but Ranatu is going to move up over top of number 35, Elijah Booker, and he's got enough for the first down. So Uniontown threatening once again. Spot of the ball this time is going to be right around the 13-yard line of the Brownsville Falcons. 7:41 remaining in the first quarter. Winfrey operating again with Walker and Ranatu. Split backs, one to either side. Milsom, Grooms, your wideouts. And Searock also out there as a wideout. This is going to be a keeper for Winfrey.
They're going to lose a couple. Well, and there's a flag thrown in late.
Good pursuit there by Brownsville's number 35, Elijah Booker.
Holding on Uniontown.
And that's going to back up the Red Raiders a few yards here. Uniontown struck first in this contest. A couple of chunk plays to move down the field. Finally, Walker able to pound his way into the end zone. Brownsville answering right back with the long run by Jaden Praster. And that's how the first half of this first quarter has played out. 7:23 remaining, 7-6 your score. Uniontown will be brought back over top of the football right now as the Uniontown Red Raiders center, Cam Watkins. Here's Winfrey rolling out, plenty of time for him, and this one going to be just a bit overthrown. And Xavier Vargas not quite able to get his hands on that one, so the Uniontown Red Raiders going to catch a break. Winfrey rolled out there, and
another late flag as Gary Smitley was just kind of jogging across and ran into one of the Brownsville players and knocked him over. They're going to call that a personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Gary
Smitley is 6'3" and 300 pounds, so when you run into people, you do tend to knock them over. Gary Smitley does a lot of that without getting a flag just over the course of the play, and unfortunately here, he'll be flagged for it, and the Uniontown Red Raiders continue to retreat back toward midfield.
And there's going to be a warning against Uniontown for the sideline also. Not much room back there for them to move backwards, but
no, there is not.
Official gives them a warning.
Sideline is quite full on the Uniontown Red Raiders side of this field.
I think it's 1st and 35.
Calvin Winfrey alone with a 5-wide look here. Winfrey's going to drop back, rolls our way, escapes the first defender. Winfrey, of course, very quick on his feet, makes a man miss. Now he has a couple blockers. Winfrey takes the sideline, and Calvin Winfrey has just covered those 35 yards in the blink of an eye. But we've got a flag on the field.
And we do have a flag.
And this one is going to be against Uniontown. That's a shame. Calvin Winfrey.
Bring it back. Wow.
Looking very spry on that keeper. Some great footwork there. Really had a few defenders caught off balance. But this one is again going to come back. And we've got some discernment happening on the field right now. A few officials speaking to one another.
Smitley very upset as he comes off the field. Not sure why he took his helmet off. I'm not sure if there was some issues there.
Hopefully Smitley is okay. He's a great player. Certainly one the Uniontown Red Raiders are going to want on the field.
Oh, they called it unsportsmanlike conduct on top of the holding. They're going to move them back another 25 yards.
And the officials are going to mark this out for us now as they continue to talk to one another near midfield. The Brownsville Falcons marching band queued up to play for us here while we wait and see exactly where this football ends up.
I guess I can reinstate my comment about the penalties. Wow.
This has been unfortunate for Uniontown because that run by Winfrey looked
that was dynamic,
wonderful.
Man.
Yes, that was great. Uniontown will keep a first down. That's the good news.
I think it's second down. That was a dead ball foul.
That is correct, Gary. I do believe that says second down. We've got a second down marker on the field, so it's going to be second down. And according to the scoreboard, 58 to go. Winfrey with the 5-wide look. See if we can spread the Falcons defense out for the Red Raiders. And Winfrey going to escape our way. Now he throws one downfield, and this one is going to be incomplete. And no flag on the play. There was some contact made with Winfrey after he released the ball. But there were two officials in the proximity, and neither were troubled by that, so there is no flag.
That's good to see. Got a play off with no flag. I think that was second down. I think the down marker is not correct, but they're letting it stand at third according to the officials. I'm sure it's only second down, though, because the touchdown was called back because of a holding, so that would keep it at first down. So that dead ball should have been kept at first down. So we'll see what happens here.
I think the scoreboard is most likely correct. It's showing second down. Third down on the sticks, though, Winfrey 5 wide. And Brownsville's got a couple of defensive backs who are deep here. Winfrey drops back, a little bit of pressure, and he's going to come our way. Good completion here to Milsom, and Milsom is driven out of bounds by Brownsville's number 21, Jeremiah Green.
Gain of about 5.
That brings the football to the Uniontown 45-yard line. We'll give them actually the 46. No, the 47. The officials here proving to be a little bit generous, and it's going to be a 47.
Fourth down on the. But the Red Raiders are, bringing on the punt team, so it must be 4th down.
Well, that's unfortunate for Uniontown.
And I don't think that's correct. But we'll go with it.
It looks like everyone on the field is in agreement about it. And here's the snap, and it's over Nathan Searock's head, but he does a good job of composing himself and still managing to punt it away.
Roughing the kicker.
And we've got a flag on the play. Ball is going to be scooped up here by Xavier Vargas for Brownsville, but Nathan Searock took a hit, and he's back on his feet, thankfully.
So, but in high school football, as I understand it, there's no automatic first downs. So that's still going to be 4th down in about 60. They're going to have to either punt it or maybe decline a penalty. I don't know. Let's see.
And that is indeed the call. Roughing the kicker as Searock was trying to punt that one away. And Gary, now we might have a real opportunity for discussion amongst the officials as we try to decide exactly where this football should go. And the counting out process has begun.
But I believe it's still going to be 4th down. Penalty was declined. So that answers that. And Brownsville's going to take over at their own 37-yard line.
Favorable field position for the Falcons following the punt by Nathan Searock. Great effort there by Searock. Snap goes over his head. He has the composure to track the football down and still get it away. But the Falcons now, we'll see if they can't replicate their success from the previous drive. 6:33 to play here in the first quarter. 7-6 is your score here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. We want to thank the Sprouse Insurance Group again for sponsoring our pregame show. I want to thank Gary for all the work he did with the lineups as well. That's always appreciated. And now we're going to have a timeout on our field. And with 6:33 to play, your score is Uniontown 7, Brownsville 6 here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night.
Doctors Ruth Hart, Calabrese, Stokes, and Hoppy and their entire team at SWGI Specialists have been recently joined to the U.S. Digestive Health System, the leading gastrointestinal practice in the northeastern United States. They want you to know that they will continue to provide the exceptional GI care and treatment in their local community and that you enjoy and trust. For more information or for help with your digestive problems, call 724-437-7677 or visit usdigestivehealth.com.
Where can you go these days to have your gas pumped for you, oil checked, and windshield cleaned? Joby's Golf, that's where. Joby's Golf is conveniently located at the corner of Fayette and Beeson Boulevard. Joby's Golf is a fast, friendly, full-service gas station that has been serving the Uniontown area for over 49 years. Joby's Golf offers lockout services, a fenced-in storage lot, and a AAA 24-hour car and light truck towing service. Call 724-438-0681 for Joby's Golf. 49 years at Joby's Golf, over 100 years here at Redstone Field on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. It's been a great one so far. Handoff inside for the Brownsville Falcons, and again finding some space for the Falcons. And down near midfield is going to be Xavier Vargas. Vargas is the player, I think, who many on the Uniontown side of this contest may have done some homework on. Vargas, a leading rusher a couple times already this season for the Falcons.
So that's a 13-yard pickup right out to midfield.
Brownsville using some of that size on the offensive line to do some damage. Michael Olry, the 6'1", 295-pound senior center, over the football here. And Hurabik, again at quarterback. Handoff going to come this way. The Red Raiders will have none of it this time. And the handoff is going to go to Praster, and he's immediately wrapped up by Nathan Searock. The good news is Searock seems just fine following the collision after his most recent punt attempt.
No gain on that play, 2nd and 10.
So the Uniontown Red Raiders now with an opportunity to put the brake shoes on the Brownsville Falcons. Ball at midfield, 2nd down and 10. And the Falcons make their way up to the line of scrimmage.
Running clock at 5:20 here in the first.
And the snap goes to Hurbick. Inside give to Vargas, and Vargas,
I think that was Praster that time. Well, no, you're right. It was Vargas.
runs into a maroon and white wall.
They look the same in that running back.
No gain on the play. 3rd down. Praster, of course, broke that 79-yard touchdown run earlier this quarter to put the Falcons on the board for the first time this season. And I'm sure that was a great moment for Brownsville head coach Von Braddock, who's only had this team under his guidance for a week. And some points on the board. Falcons with the ball, still at midfield, 3rd down. And the snap to Hurbick. He's going to give to the inside, and this one may go for a yard or two once we consider forward progress, but that is going to be the absolute most that the Falcons are going to see out of that. It was, again, Xavier Vargas with the carry, although the PA announcer here has it as number 3, Jaden Praster.
I think it was. Like, my eyes don't deceive me.
Gain of 1 on the play. Vargas and Praster, from this distance, do look similar.
That was number 3 on that carry.
4th down. And Brownsville is going to prepare to punt this one away. Number 33 on for the Falcons. That's Larry Wade. And a couple of Red Raiders back to receive. Walker and Grooms.
This has got to be a difficult situation for Brownsville. Probably not much time to work on special teams, and punt game is always tough. He gets it away.
And the Red Raiders nearly got to that one. Ball is going to bounce and will be recovered by Uniontown. There was a moment where a gasp went up from the crowd as to whether or not the ball had struck the Red Raiders, but Kellen Milsom does a good job securing it, and it's going to be a 1st down for the Uniontown Red Raiders with 3:21 to play when we continue this, what has been so far a very exciting contest on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night.
Do you have someone you know who needs home support? Let Caring Mission Home Care be your solution. They provide assistance with daily living activities. Caring Mission employs insured aides and now offers certified dementia practitioners for in-home Alzheimer's care. Caring Mission Home Care, 724-439-7656, or visit thecaringhomemission.com for more information.
Welcome back on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night to Redstone Field. And the Uniontown Red Raiders and Falcons are both back on the field as the Uniontown Red Raiders are going to begin this drive from their own 31-yard line. It is Calvin Winfrey at quarterback, and he's going to have Michael Thomas and Jamari Walker in the backfield with him. Walker is the deep back. The Red Raiders are now ready to begin what is their 3rd drive of this contest. Pitch to Walker. A little bit of room our way. And Walker avoids one tackle. Now he's got midfield and nearly to the 45 where he's pushed out of bounds by Brownsville's number 21, Neova Jordan. So that's good for a 1st down and more. The ball is brought into the Falcons' territory.
25-yard run.
It looks like the officials are going to agree that Walker gained at least the 48 and maybe even the 47. Yes.
So give him 28 on that run.
Good gain for Walker. Uniontown Red Raiders back in business here.
That's their 5th 1st down of the first quarter.
The Brownsville Falcons were able to firm up on the last drive. Inside give here to Thomas, and Thomas plows over a couple of Falcons as he advances the ball out to the 40. Nice looking carry there by number 22, Michael Thomas.
Give him 7.
That'll set up 2nd and 3 for the Uniontown Red Raiders. The Brownsville Falcons, of course, were aided on their last trip out defensively by a few penalties, but the Uniontown Red Raiders have looked very sharp this time. Winfrey ready to go. Offensive line will come down set. Cam Watkins on the ball for Uniontown. Snap goes to Winfrey, and a quick little handoff here to Walker, and Walker came out of the backfield like a cannonball, running over a couple of Falcons as he advances the ball to the 24-yard line. Good gain there. Walker has looked very, very quick.
Give him 14 more on that carry.
The Uniontown Red Raiders now threatening once again, leading here by a point with 2:31 to play in the first quarter.
6 carries for 72 yards already for Walker.
Not a bad start. Man in motion. Snap goes to Winfrey, and he's going to hand off to that motion man, and it's Notorious Grooms. And Grooms will get himself at least a couple. He's finally brought down by Jaden Praster and number 5, Omarion Grayson.
Turned out to be about a 7-yard run there.
Grayson, one of the seniors on this Brownsville Falcons team. That's the first time tonight that we've said his name, but we know from past seasons he's talented on both sides of the football, listed as one of the several tight ends that the Brownsville Falcons like to use offensively. And so the Red Raiders are going to keep a good thing going here with Thomas and Walker in the backfield with Winfrey. Winfrey hands off to Walker, now going to his left.
He'll pick up the first down.
At least a few yards out there. Yeah, definitely enough for a first down.
3 and 6, 9-yard pickup.
And it looks like the spot of the ball may also be the 9-yard line. We've got a Red Raider here hopping off the field. Hopefully nothing too serious. And he's made it to the sideline successfully. That is Walker. And that's going to cue up a timeout taken by the Uniontown Red Raiders. With 1:28 to play in the first quarter, it's Uniontown 7 and Brownsville 6. When we come back here on the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night, we'll see if the Uniontown Red Raiders are able to cap off this drive. Visit the haunting world of the Hill Family Hostel House. Experience sinister sideshows and eerie exhibits in the Twisted Nightmare Freak Show and journey into the heart of terror on the trail. All at Haunted Hills Estate, located at 236 Rolling Hills Estate Road in Uniontown. Haunted Hills offers $5 off Fridays with a high school football ticket stub and discounts on Sundays for students. Visit hauntedhillsestate.com for dates, hours of operation, attraction details, and more. 3 attractions, 1 location. Visit if you dare. That's the Haunted Hills Estate on 236 Rolling Hills Road in Uniontown.
Are you ready to indulge in the best pizza around? Are you looking for a lunch or dinner spot with all your favorite Italian classics coupled with mouth-watering daily specials? Then it's time to visit 2G Brothers Pizza, located at 123 Matthew Drive in Uniontown. Specials and customer favorites include Thursday's Sicilian-style pizza and Saturday's chicken parmesan. Call 724-439-5600 today and let 2G Brothers handle the rest. Your taste buds will be glad you did.
And Calvin Winfrey going to throw one out to Notorious Grooms, who has some space, and Grooms is in, says the near official, and the far official is going to agree. Welcome back here to Redstone Field on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. We jump right into that one as Calvin Winfrey completes a touchdown pass to Notorious Grooms, and for the time being has expanded the Uniontown Red Raiders lead to 13-6. We'll see David Ranatu step on here for the extra point. Great effort there by Grooms. He had one defender that he absolutely had to beat, and he went right through him for the touchdown. And Uniontown leads by 7 now. Will it be 8? C-Rock is ready to hold. Here's the snap. It's down. Ranatu sends this one on its way, and it is good. And the Uniontown Red Raiders do indeed lead by 8 here at Redstone Field with 1:20 remaining in the first quarter. Your score, 14-6 here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic on a regular basis. All insurance accepted, experienced therapists, convenient location and hours, part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor. That's the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute. You can also schedule by direct access, 724-437-8255. 7,500. Welcome back to Redstone Field on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night WMBS live stream. I want to thank Gary Frankhauser for being here with me tonight. I want to thank Bill Dice. He's still upstairs, I think, working on that Wi-Fi connection. Thank goodness for him. This, of course, is Joshua Scully. It's 14-6 tonight here in the first quarter. Plenty of scoring. That's one thing we have to say about all the Uniontown Red Raider football games so far this season. They have all been exciting. They have all included some big plays. We've seen that tonight. The Brownsville Falcons down just 8 points. Here's the kickoff, and the Uniontown Red Raiders are going to hit this returner quite a few times. A couple of players in on the stop on Jaden Praster. Praster hit a few times, wouldn't go down. Of course, Praster had the long touchdown run. That, I think, Gary, was one of the most incredible plays I've ever seen in person, regardless of the level of football. Praster, I thought for sure on that touchdown run, was consumed many times over by the Uniontown Red Raiders. He comes out like he was shot out of a cannon, and he takes it to the house.
It was absolutely amazing, and look, as you said, it looked like the play was over, but Powell kept moving, and he just kept his legs churning and popped himself right out of there and went the distance.
Anthony Rico, the center for the Falcons, was ready to snap the ball, but now we're going to have a timeout taken by the Brownsville Falcons here with 1:14 to play in the first quarter. Your score is Uniontown 14 and Brownsville 6 here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night.
That scoring drive, it ended with a pass from Winfrey to Grooms for 9 yards out, scoring at the 1:20 mark of the second, and the kick by Ranatu making it 14-6. With now 1:14 to go in the first quarter. That scoring update and drive summary is brought to you by Bartok Lawn Care, locally owned and operated. Contact Jared at 724-366-3302 for Bartok Lawn Care.
And we want to thank our live video stream sponsors as well: Stewart Collision Service, LLC, and Brewston Chiropractic Studio. We're ready to go here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night, live on the WMBS Facebook page. Brownsville trailing by 8 points, 1:14 to play in the first quarter. Brownsville scoring its first touchdown of the season. And this is a formation we've seen the Falcons employ quite often tonight. It's going to be a handoff inside, and this handoff goes to the big man, number 35, Elijah Booker. The sophomore listed at 5'9", 232, but he's hit right away by Uniontown's Michael Thomas and does not get a whole lot further than that, although I think he's going to get a favorable spot here that looks like he's going to be credited for a gain of at least 4 and maybe nearly 5 yards, Gary, on that run.
Give him 5. So second down and 5, ball sitting at the Brownsville 34-yard line.
Brownsville Falcons may have one more play left in them with the time remaining as we approach the 30-second mark here in the first quarter. Booker in the backfield with Praster and Vargas all behind the quarterback, Hurabik. Handoff. Inside, they go back to Booker again, and there's nothing happening that time. Chase Brumley and David Ranatu waiting for him on the other side of that handoff, and they bring him down, maybe even a short loss on the play. And in fact, again, the officials going to be a little more exaggerated than I had anticipated. They're going to take 3 yards off him on that play, Gary.
And that's going to bring up 3rd and 8. Much more unmanageable as we end the first quarter.
And we've played one here at Redstone Field. It's Uniontown 14, Brownsville 6 on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. The Uniontown Red Raiders in front by 8 points, and we'll see what the Brownsville Falcons will decide to do on third down when we come back after a break to recognize a few of our sponsors.
UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains. Treated my Achilles. Joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurances are accepted. Experienced therapists, convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access at 724-437-7500.
Are you looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years of experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com, and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. Welcome back to a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. 12 minutes put back on the clock to start quarter number 2. One thing that hasn't changed, though, it is still 3rd and 8 for these Brownsville Falcons, and it's a similar formation we've seen all night. Hurabik with the handoff inside. This is going to be Vargas, and he maybe gets 2 yards. That'll bring up 4th and 6, maybe even 4th and 7.
That was Praster.
Oh, that was Praster.
Yes.
I'm going to start purposefully saying the other one.
So he gains 3 back.
So that'll bring up 4th down.
So 4th down and 6.
And on to punt for the Brownsville Falcons, number 33, Larry Wade. The Uniontown Red Raiders with Walker and Grooms back to receive this punt. That's good to see Walker back on the field. He had come off a little banged up a moment or two ago. And here's the punt. And it's going to be
hit by Walker, I believe.
We'll see what the officials are able to discern out of that. Xavier Vargas came up with it. And it looks like that is indeed the call, Gary. They will say that the ball struck Walker and was then picked up by Xavier Vargas. And so it will be Brownsville football at about the 49-yard line of the Falcons. That's one way to get a first down. Maybe not textbook, but that's one way to do it.
So we'll call that a muffed punt by Walker and giving a gain out to the 49-yard line for Brownsville.
So the Falcons with a fresh set of downs. Hurabik whispering a couple of final thoughts to Xavier Vargas. Vargas coming up with that one, did a really nice job. Hurabik will hand off this time, and this one is to Vargas. Vargas is immediately swallowed up by a collection of Red Raiders in on that stop. Number 77, Gary Smitley, good to see him back out there too for the Red Raiders.
We'll give him 2.
2nd and 8 for the Falcons. They are in Uniontown Red Raider territory. The Falcons hanging around in this game, that's to say the very least. 10:41 to play in the second quarter. 14-6 is your score. The Falcons trying to restart a drive that, for all intents and purposes, had stalled out. But following that muffed punt, the Falcons have some new life here. Offensive line is anchored by number 60, Anthony Rico. He's out over the ball. And here's the snap. Handoff this time is going to go back to Vargas, and Vargas, very little room to work with. He's almost immediately met by number 22, Michael Thomas, and also in on that stop, number 42 for the Uniontown Red Raiders, the senior, Wyatt Dean.
Give him 3 on that one. So 5 carries for 18 yards for Vargas. Praster with those 3 carries at 82 yards. That dynamic 79-yarder put Brownsville on the board early in the first.
We'll see if Uniontown is able to stop Brownsville here on 3rd down, or if the Falcons perhaps have another big play up their sleeve. Hurabik will step up behind Rico. He's ready for the snap. And we're going to have a flag, and it looks like that's going to be a false start.
Push him back 5 and make it a 3rd and 10. What was a manageable 3rd down and 5 now becomes a little less manageable at 3rd and 10.
That's good news for the Uniontown Red Raiders, who will see the football brought back into Falcons territory. Spot of the ball is now going to be the Brownsville 49-yard line. The Falcons, of course, were in a similar situation just a moment ago, and as a result of a miscue while fielding the punt, the Falcons picked up a new first down right about this spot and now find themselves at the 49-yard line once again, this time facing 3rd down. 9:10 to play in the half. Hurabik with 3 backs behind him, and the Uniontown Red Raiders offering a little bit of blitz here. Hurabik drops back, throws one, and that one's going to fall incomplete.
Had a man in the crease there between the safety and the cornerback, the tight end.
I think he wanted Jordan on that play.
And that was just the second pass that Brownsville has attempted here in the first half, and that falls incomplete, so that'll bring up the punting situation again.
So another opportunity here for the Uniontown Red Raiders to take control of the football. Walker and Grooms again in position to receive this one. Grooms back deep by himself. Walker maybe looking for one that is especially short or even blocked.
Ooh.
And this one is going to be especially short. It pops up into the air, then takes a Uniontown bounce and is downed there by Brownsville's number 7, Jonathan Vassbinder. And we do have a player down on the field. He's going to receive some help here from a Uniontown player. Some good sportsmanship happening. And the young man is back on his feet for Brownsville. Really like to see before this game both teams coming together at midfield, meeting, shaking hands, talking, catching up. Some old friends, we're sure. They took a group photo together. Both of these programs, of course, independent.
So that ended up being a 3-yard punt and gives the Uniontown possession at their own 48.
Probably not quite what the Falcons wanted, but Brownsville did, after all, catch a break just a moment or two ago with their previous punt attempt. So now the Uniontown Red Raiders are back in business, and it's Calvin Winfrey with Thomas and Walker. This has been the formation that Uniontown likes most tonight. It's going to be a pitch to Walker, and Walker finds a little bit of space, but he's ripped down.
Didn't call it.
Elijah Booker certainly seemed to be holding the wrong places on Walker as he pulled him to the ground, but no call. And I don't think, Gary, we see much of a gain there either. It looks like the spot is going to stay the same. Maybe a short gain, but less than a yard.
Looked like he had him behind the collar there, but the officials are much closer than we are, so we'll take their word for it.
That is very true. The lights are on here at Redstone Field as the sun has disappeared behind some clouds in the horizon. Beautiful evening. Handoff this time, going to go inside, and a nice gain here for the Uniontown Red Raiders. Booker again on the stop, but that's the electric Michael Thomas, who does so much for this football team on both sides of the ball. He gains probably the better part of 7 yards there, I would say, Gary.
He did. Brings up a 3rd down and about 3.5.
Cam Watkins anchoring this offensive line for the Uniontown Red Raiders that have helped create so many explosive plays this season. Here's the snap to Winfrey. Winfrey's going to roll out our way, and it's going to be a pass, just quite not able to grab it as Michael Thomas. And in coverage there is going to be 18, the Brownsville quarterback, Bryce Hurabik. And that's going to bring up 4th down and about 3.5 yards to go. Gary, I think that was a good estimation on your part. That's right about where we're at here. And we'll see what Uniontown elects to do. They are at the Brownsville 45-yard line. It looks like most of their offensive personnel to run a play are going to return to the field. Their punter, Nathan Searock, is out wide on our side. The Uniontown Red Raiders now working, of course, right to left across your screen. Here's the snap to Winfrey. He comes our way. Looks like he's going to want to keep it. He's going to do it himself indeed, Gary. He's got it. Great move there on Vargas. Now Winfrey's off to the races, and you will not catch him. That's a Uniontown Red Raider touchdown.
From 45 yards out.
There are no flags on the play, so Winfrey, who really worked very hard earlier in this game to make his way to the end zone from 35 yards out, a play that was called back, finally is rewarded through his footwork and speed to find the end zone there. Good play call, and Winfrey really made that happen himself. And he had to beat Xavier Vargas, and he did beat Vargas.
Made about 5 guys miss on the way to that end zone.
Excellent piece of running there by Winfrey. David Ranatu going to send along the extra point for us here. And that one is good. And your score is going to be 21-6 here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. Live from the historic Redstone Field, it is Uniontown 21 and Brownsville 6. Are you looking for a fast, friendly notary service that is open in the evening? Sandy Howe Notary Services, LLC, located on Dry Knob Road in Smithville, is here for your vehicle, boat, motorcycle, ATV registrations and transfers, plate renewals, and more. They offer new PA and Maryland plates and West Virginia title applications. They serve Uniontown, Smithfield, Fairchance, and all surrounding areas. Open weekdays 10 to 8:30, Saturdays 9 to 5. Sandy Howe Notary Services, Dry Knob Road in Smithfield, 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you by name.
And that scoring drive was 4 plays, 52 yards, highlighted by the 45-yard run by Calvin Winfrey into the end zone at the 7:22 mark. Kicked by Ranatu Good, and that made it 21-6. And that scoring drive summary was brought to you by Bartok Lawn Care. Call Bartok Lawn Care at 724-366-3308 or visit bartoklawncare.com for more information.
What's exciting tonight here, Gary, on a C. Harper Auto Group High School sports night for these Uniontown Red Raiders, you get a chance to get back in the win column after a couple of difficult games. You're up 21-6. You have a bye week coming up, and then the Red Raiders, of their last 3 games, 2 of them are against teams from the old line state, from Maryland, and some new opponents that the Red Raiders have not seen, at least in recent history, which I think will be exciting for their players. Here's Vargas drawing some contact on the return. He's finally ripped down by Uniontown's number 9, Nate Heiss.
Ranatu with the first contact, and that was a vicious collision there at about the 36-yard line.
Vargas listed at 5'6", 145 pounds, but I think it's fair to say he hits a little bit harder than that.
Absolutely, and that's going to set up Brownsville at their own 37.5-yard line. Opportunity here with 7:16 to go in the second.
7:16 to play in this half. 21-6 your score. Brownsville Falcons working on their play call. They stay in the huddle. Now Hurabik will send his offensive lineman up, and he's going to follow them. Anthony Rico. Rico listed at 247. He's a junior. He anchors that offensive unit for the Falcons. He's over top of the ball.
Power eye right, double tight end.
And the handoff is going to go to Booker, but Wyatt Dean, Michael Thomas, and now virtually every Red Raider defender all over him. And we'll see a gain of maybe a yard.
Just his third carry. And a net 3 yards for Booker. And now somebody down there for Brownsville, looks like number 35. That is Booker.
And hopefully he's okay. He's played a good game on both sides of the ball for this Brownsville team. This injury timeout is being brought to you by UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns on Wayland Smith Drive or call 724-437-7500. UPMC Rehabilitation Institute Services. Relief is closer than you think.
Marcon Building Supply has the tri-state area for ready-mix concrete and building supplies, and they have been around for decades. Family owned and operated and built on a foundation of trust, integrity, and exceptional quality. Marcon is your local leader for ready-mix concrete, precast, lumber, tools, electrical, plumbing, lawn care, and general building supply needs. Visit the store in Markleysburg or call Marcon today at 724-329-5542. Marcon Building Supply, your one-stop shop for all your home building and construction needs.
Fayette County Recorder of Deeds John Marietta would like to wish all of our local high school football teams a great season. His office is located inside the Fayette County Courthouse on East Main Street in Uniontown. To contact the Recorder of Deeds, John Marietta, please phone 724-430-1238. Have a great high school football and fall season. From Fayette County Recorder of Deeds, John Marietta, 724-430-1238. It's a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night here live from the historic Redstone Field. So much history here at this complex. Of course, the Field House was the former gymnasium of the Redstone High School. That building, of course, long since gone, unfortunately. But much of what you still see here has been in place since 1916.
And there have been some fantastic football squads that came out of Redstone High School before the merger with Brownsville to become Brownsville High School. They have some hugely rich history here at Redstone Field.
And we're happy to see this football program at Brownsville continue. And all the effort from these young men. Vargas, though, despite his effort, is swallowed up by Calvin Winfrey and Wyatt Dean. And also back there helping make the stop, David Ranatu. That play is going to lose a couple of yards for the Brownsville Falcons. 6:35 and winding here, remaining in the first half.
So he'll lose 2 on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down and 12. The clock running at 6:20 to go here in the second quarter.
If the Brownsville Falcons are able to put together a scoring drive here, certainly this game stays interesting regardless of how the Uniontown Red Raiders respond, although you do get the feeling with the Red Raiders largely controlling the last several minutes of this game that should the Falcons not pull out this 3rd down, the Red Raiders may be in a position to start to pull away.
It's been competitive. Wow, that was a lot of movement in the backfield. I'm not sure that was one they practiced a lot, but the 2 backfield members cross-buck in front of the quarterback, and they tried the end around there to
I think
Praster.
that was, yeah, I think that was.
And he's going to lose about 5.
Praster on the play did not get very far. The Uniontown Red Raiders were on him nearly as soon as he touched the football, so this is going to be another punt by number 33, Larry Wade. Here's the snap to Wade, and Wade is going to have this one maybe partly blocked, and the ball is going to take a Uniontown bounce, a couple of them, and then it's finally down by the Brownsville Falcons, so that is another punt that does not quite go the way that the Brownsville Falcons had hoped.
Went about 10 yards past the line of scrimmage and bounced backwards, ending up being about a net 2-yard punt. But again, that's not something that you have been able to practice too much on special teams. If you're Vaughn Braddock and taking over the team in just 1 week, that's a very difficult task.
No, I think it's fair to say, based on what we've seen so far from the Falcons tonight, Gary, that Coach Braddock has probably done a tremendous amount of good here in the week that he's been present. The Falcons definitely have made some strides here tonight, I would say, in their run attack. They've put together some offense. They're still in this game. They need a stop. The snap here goes to Winfrey. Winfrey, lots of time. Now he's going to throw out to his right. Pass is complete. And the Falcons, though, are on it pretty quickly. And there's not going to be much of a gain for the Uniontown Red Raiders on that play.
That was Grooms with the catch, and he's going to be for no gain.
So that'll bring up 2nd down for the Uniontown Red Raiders. Clock continues to roll. We have our halftime shows coming up. The Brownsville Area High School Marching Band, the Uniontown Area High School Marching Band, both of them ready to go. And the wind is kicking up here a little bit, Gary, too, blowing across the field to the north. That might work against the Uniontown Red Raiders if there were a need perhaps for a field goal. The Red Raiders, of course, looking for the touchdown. This is a carry by Walker, and he blasts through a couple of defenders near the 1st down marker. He may be just shy. We'll see the spot.
And they give him the 1st down.
He gets a friendly spot as a couple of Falcons converge to bring down Walker, but not in time, and it's a 1st down for the Uniontown Red Raiders. Uniontown has really found success on the ground tonight from a variety of different players. It's going to be a snap to Winfrey, an inside give to Thomas. Thomas makes a little move and ends up getting way more than he probably should have. He danced through a couple of defenders. I thought for at least a moment there he was going to be pulled down, and he just did not give up, kept the feet moving. And again, we're near the 1st down marker. Spot of the ball is going to be the 15. Great run there by Michael Thomas, not giving up on the play. Notorious Grooms in the slot for Uniontown. Pitch goes to Walker. He's going to run away from us. He's going to run away from everybody. He's got room, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds right about the 5-yard line. But the Uniontown Red Raiders very much in business. It looks like the official spot maybe is going to be closer to the 6.5.
So give him 9 yards on that carry. Puts him at 100 for the 1st half.
Walker having himself quite a day. The Uniontown Red Raiders with a chance to go ahead 3 scores with 3:34 to play. Plenty of time. The clock right now is certainly on their side. It's going to be Thomas and Walker in the backfield. Walker immediately to Winfrey's left. And here's the snap to Calvin Winfrey. He's going to keep it and come our way. He's got to beat a couple of men to get in the end zone.
Tackle.
And he's going to be tackled by number 9.
They're going to call him down at the like a 3-yard line. Ball did come loose, but they're going to call him down.
Ahijah Kira Makbar with the stop for Brownsville. Winfrey is so quick of foot, it's impressive anytime you can get both feet at one time. And Akira Makbar was able to do it there to stop Winfrey from getting in the end zone. I think Calvin probably had it if he's not stopped by Akira Makbar. Thomas and Walker stay in the backfield with Winfrey. And here's the snap from Cam Watkins. Winfrey going to inside give it to Walker, and Walker's tripped up again by Akira Makbar.
But he gets in.
And he's in for a touchdown. Yes, Gary, wow. Nice job there by Walker, stretching out and getting across the goal line. I thought Akira Makbar maybe had him. And we've got a player down on the field, unfortunately, for the Brownsville Falcons. The touchdown is on the scoreboard, though, 27-6 right now, with just over 2:40 remaining. This injury timeout is being brought to you by UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns on Wayland Smith Drive or call 724-437-7500 for the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute services. Relief is closer than you think.
Since 1976, Davis & Davis has represented people and not insurance companies. Our lawyers have experience in litigating or settling personal injury claims, medical malpractice cases, and wrongful death actions, together with domestic, real estate, workers' compensation, estate planning, and more. The municipal law is also a great experience for Davis & Davis. Throughout decades of work, Davis & Davis has successfully represented thousands of cases in local, state, and federal courts. For more information, you can call us at Davis & Davis at 724-437-2799.
Two Brothers Tree and Stump Service promises top quality guaranteed. Looking for a reliable, licensed, and insured contractor? You're in the right place. Two Brothers Tree and Stump Service is dedicated to providing top-notch services at affordable prices. They have many years of experience in a wide range of industries and always get the job done right. Feel free to get in touch anytime, day or night. Call 724-415-9183 for Two Brothers Tree and Stump Service.
Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about. Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Draver Township is Sprouse Insurance Group at 724-437-9812 or go to sprouse.insurance.com. Erie Rate Lock is not guaranteed. Continued insurance coverage is not available in all states.
Welcome back to Redstone Field on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night, where the Uniontown Red Raiders extra point is a line drive and good. Uniontown now leading 28-6 over top of the Brownsville Falcons. A really good drive there, Gary, for Uniontown, where they really mixed and matched a couple different types of runs, but really found success regardless of what they did.
On the run that Walker had twice, gained big chunks, and also contributing there, Michael Thomas getting into the action, just the one pass for no gain. But I think the Red Raiders are kind of wearing down the Brownsville Falcons here in the second quarter, and they complete that drive at 2:43 to go here in the second, culminated by the 3-yard run by Walker, his second touchdown of the half, making it 28-6.
And we want to thank the Bartok Lawn Care Service for bringing that drive summary to you. The experts in lawn care done right, Bartok Lawn Care. The Uniontown Red Raiders are preparing to kick this one off to the Brownsville Falcons with just 2:43 to play in the first half. The Brownsville Falcons may be getting their last opportunity to get back on the scoreboard here this half. And it's going to be David Ranitou, who we're very pleased to see back on the field after an injury last week against the Albert Gallatin Colonials. The Uniontown Red Raiders played host. Of course, the Red Raiders have a bye week next week to recharge their batteries for the home stretch of the season, where they'll face Northern Garrett, Connellsville, and Southern Garrett. Here's the kick. And this one's going to be returned by the Falcons to about the 31-yard line.
That was Vargas.
And Vargas pops right back up after a pretty good hit. Vargas is, of course, something of a spark plug for this Brownsville team. We've seen him previous seasons. Vargas, the junior, listed at 5'6", 145. Really dynamic player, really exciting player. And we throw the word dynamic around a lot this evening. I know I've used it a few times, but it's really the most appropriate word that I can think of to describe some of the athletes on both of these teams here tonight. Of course, a lot of them multiple sport athletes, and you can tell that they play multiple sports through those gifts that they're bringing to the field here tonight. 28-6 your score, 2:35 to play.
And Vargas certainly plays bigger than he is, no doubt about that.
He really does. Here's Hurabik. He's going to hand off to Vargas, and Michael Thomas says absolutely no further than that, and he rips Vargas to the ground. A gain of 4 yards on the play. Will bring up second down. 2:22 on the clock. Spot of the ball looks to be now right on the 35-yard line of the Brownsville Falcons. Falcons have offered a three-back look for most of this contest, and they've had a little bit of success running out of that formation as well. Offensive line has done some pretty good work for them, too.
Two tight ends almost predominantly. You don't see any wide receivers.
Falcons have kept everything in close tonight. And we're going to have a false start.
That time a little anxious was Vargas. Power eye left. Oh, I think he pointed the wrong way.
I think he did, too, because he did signal for a false start.
I think they're going to call it on Uniontown. Maybe someone was calling signals from the Uniontown defense. The referee from the back came in, and he's pointing to Uniontown.
The officials are going to
give him 5 yards to Brownsville.
Yes, they will. That's going to make it second down. The spot of the ball is moved up, and the signal is given to wind the clock. 1:35 remaining now in the first half.
Second and just one now. Power eye right formation for Brownsville.
Hurabek going to keep this one himself, and he
like
definitely has enough, I would say.
He does. That's just his first carry of the day for 3 yards and the first down.
Brownsville also sending out Omarion Grayson in place of the injured Elijah Booker. Grayson has assumed Booker's place in the backfield for the Falcons. 1:10 to play. Brownsville, Gary, will probably need to open it up just a little bit here if they're going to find the end zone as the clock continues to roll.
Don't seem to be in any hurry. And again, another tough thing to practice would be 2-minute drill. Just coming into the system.
Here's the snap. Hurabik going to look our way.
Oh, my.
And
intercepted.
Intercepted. Diving interception by Walker.
Wow.
Chase Brumley was seconds away from ripping Hurabik to the field. And the pass is intercepted by Walker. And now the Uniontown Red Raiders, Gary, could really put themselves in the driver's seat for the second half if they are successful in making the best use of this final 41 seconds.
And you wonder if Coach Jeffries might be a little conservative here. Not looking to pile on, so to speak.
That's a good point. 28-6 is your score at present. The Uniontown Red Raiders with Thomas and Walker in place, and Calvin Winfrey ready to take the snap. Winfrey is going to hand off to Walker. Walker makes one man miss, and Walker powers through a couple other defenders, and he's eventually ripped down by number 4, and there is a flag on the play.
I think that'll be coming back. Holding on Uniontown.
Stephon Tinsley able to make the stop on Walker, but it looks like that's going to be a moot point. This does appear to be a hold.
And a little bit of a negative for the Red Raiders in the first half. That's their 6th penalty for 55 yards.
The Red Raiders, of course, had a touchdown come off the board earlier this half as a result of the penalty. That would have been a touchdown for Calvin Winfrey on a 35-yard keeper. And the spot of the ball will now be brought back to the 41. Winfrey going to clear out the backfield here.
Just
5 wide set.
Just 32 seconds, but it doesn't look like they're sitting on it.
Winfrey takes the snap, drops back, looks downfield, and he's going to air it out. This is a big throw, and he's got a man, and the ball is broken up at the last second. Somehow, some way, that's number 21, Jordan, for the Falcons, able to break that up. But otherwise, looked like a success. Jordan somehow able to get a hand in there and bat the ball away.
And that was Grooms, I believe, or Milson. Which one was that?
I think that was Grooms on the receiving end for Uniontown.
It was. And he had an opportunity, but just could not come up with it. Now down to 24 seconds.
The Red Raiders will stay 5 wide. Searock, Grooms, Walker, Thomas, and Milsom are your receivers for Uniontown. Here's the snap to Winfrey. Winfrey going to use his feet to escape some pressure. Now he throws on the run, and it's a good-looking throw to midfield.
That's Walker.
And that's going to be Walker fighting ahead near the first down marker.
He's going to have a first down. From the 42 down to the 17.
What a nice throw there by Winfrey, who's on the move and finds Walker right in the middle of the field. Walker was virtually all alone. The Falcons did converge on him pretty quickly.
25-yard pickup.
Uniontown now will have 13 seconds when we come back here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. Uniontown leading 28-6 at Redstone Field, and they will have just under 14 seconds to see if they cannot add another score to their total here tonight. Score big savings when you shop at Reese Warehouse in Smithfield with great pricing on furniture and appliances from such manufacturers as Maytag, Whirlpool, and more. Furniture by Flexsteel and Ashley, to name a few. Comfortable, Serta, bedding, and more, all at great prices. Reese Warehouse, your community choice winner, is one of the best places to buy appliances. Shop Monday 9 to 7, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday until 6, and Saturday 9 to 5. Reese Warehouse, the superstore in Smithfield. Welcome back to a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. 13.6 seconds remaining, and Uniontown is going to be in a 4-wide look. One running back will step back with Winfrey here. That's going to be Michael Thomas. Winfrey with the drop back, fires one to the end zone, and it is caught. It is caught off the tip.
Wow.
And what an incredible catch by Notorious Grooms. It goes through the hands of 2 Brownsville defenders. I think Xavier Vargas, number 2, and number 18, Bryce Hurabik, both had a chance to seize that ball, and they juggle it to Notorious Grooms, who pulls it down.
With 6 seconds to go.
Incredible.
It looks like the 2 Brownsville players just kind of fought over it themselves and caused it to pop up in the air, and Grooms was on the spot for the catch.
Here's David Ranatu to kick, and the extra point looks good from here, Gary. Gary, you hear it said over and over again in virtually all levels of football, knock it down, knock it down, and they juggle it. And they juggle it right to Notorious Grooms, who did not mind taking it. 35-6 is your score. 6.4 seconds remaining in the half here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. The Uniontown Red Raiders good for 5 touchdowns here in the first half. The Brownsville Falcons able to put 1 on the board. When we come back, it'll be the closing seconds of the first half here on the WMBS Facebook page. Doctors Ruthard, Claire Brees, Stokes, and Hoppy and their entire team at SWGI Specialist have recently joined U.S. Digestive Health, the leading gastroenterology practice in the northeastern United States. They want you to know they will continue to provide the exceptional GI care and treatment in their local community that you enjoy and trust. For more information or for help with your digestive problems, call 724-437-7677 or visit usdigestivehealth.com.
So we're just about ready for the kickoff again by Ranatu. This probably will be the last play of the first half. And it goes on the ground and won't start until someone touches it. And it's on the ground, and now falling on it back there is Vargas. And that's going to leave 4 seconds on the clock.
Well, the Brownsville Falcons, I think, can walk off of this field, Gary, at halftime and hold their heads up high after having been outscored by at least 41 points in their first 3 contests and not being able to score themselves. They come out, they put a big play up. They had a couple other drives that were sustained for at least several plays, and they took opportunities that were given to them. And I think when you're going into next week against a team like the Carrick Raiders, who the Falcons have had success against in the past, this is the sort of step you want to take here tonight.
I agree, and they've shown a lot of positive things, and that big run to start the game gave them some life and some momentum, and they've worked hard, they've hit hard, they've blocked hard, just a little overmatched. And there's a handoff on the reverse now.
And
trying to weave his way through there. That was number 7.
Vastbinder, Jonathan Vastbinder, looking for a little bit of space, and he gains a few yards there, Gary, to round this one out, maybe a gain of 2 or 3. And that's going to do it for the first half here at Redstone Field on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. Your score is Uniontown 35, Brownsville 6. We will be preparing ourselves now through our video feed for our halftime shows. Both the Uniontown Area High School Marching Band and the Brownsville Area High School Marching Band are here and ready to go with their halftime shows. At Grace Veterinary Services, they know your pets are more than just pets, they're family. With the latest techniques and cutting-edge laser surgical technology, your pet will spend less time recovering and more time back on their feet, all 4 of them. Their goal is giving your pet the very best care. Grace Veterinary Services offers a wide variety of services that include wellness exams and preventative care, vaccinations, and surgical services such as spay, neuter, and dental. For an appointment, call 724-437-4191 or visit gvs.vet. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, and more, including hand injuries. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic on a regular basis. All insurance accepted, experienced therapists, convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500 for the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive. Savings as easy as 1, 2, 3 with an Education Club savings account at First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Your future dreams will start adding up. Plus, you can qualify for a scholarship upon high school graduation. Visit any First Federal branch to start saving today. For more information on account rules and scholarship eligibility, visit First Federal Savings and Loan Association or visit them online at firstfederalofgreene.com. Best wishes to our local teams from First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. NMLS number 458729, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Welcome back to the historic Redstone Field. Here where the Uniontown Red Raiders lead 35-6 at halftime, and the Uniontown Red Raider High School Marching Band is taken to the field. Gary, any thoughts you'd like to share from the first half with us?
Well, I think it was very entertaining, that's for sure. And Brownsville has shown that they are a capable squad, that they can do some things. And Uniontown kind of took over, but got to give some credit to Brownsville, and we'll see how this thing works out in the second half. But looking at the halftime statistics for Uniontown, leading the way was Jameer Walker. He had 11 carries for 103 yards. Corey Grooms with 16 yards on 2 carries. Michael Thomas, 23 yards on 3 carries. Winfrey, 3 carries for 60 yards. And Randatu, 2 carries for 8 yards, for their total of 194 yards on the ground. Through the air, Calvin Winfrey was 5 for 11 for 68 yards, for their total now of 262 yards in the first half. Receiving, Michael Thomas 1 for 11, and Torrey Grooms 3 carries. 3 receptions for just 9 yards, but he did have that 9-yard touchdown reception. For Brownsville, it's all on the ground. They have no passing yards, just 3 attempts through the air, all incomplete. But Praster with that dynamic 79-yard run to start things off for them ended up with 77 net yards in the first half on 4 carries. Vargas with 7 carries for 19. Corbeck, the quarterback, 1 for 3 yards. Booker, 3 carries for 3 yards, and that last carry by Vassbinder for 3 yards for a total of 105 total yards. Brownsville had 3 first downs recorded in the first half. Uniontown 11 first downs in the first half. Penalties, really a bugaboo for Uniontown. 6 penalties for 55 yards, whereas Brownsville just had 2 penalties for 10 yards. There were two turnovers in the first half. The muff punt by Uniontown, which gave Brownsville some good field position that they were not able to convert on. And then there, right at the end, the interception by Walker that resulted in the last touchdown by Uniontown. Scoring summary. At 9:38, Walker went in from 10 yards, ran a 2 kick, was good, made it 7-0. Brownsville came back and scored very quickly after that at 9:10. A 79-yard run by Praster made it 7-6, with the 2-point conversion being not successful. Thereafter was all Uniontown with 1:20 to go in the first. Grooms with the 9-yard pass reception, kick good to make it 14-6. 7:22 to go in the second. 45-yard run by Winfrey. Kick was good that made it 21-6. At 2:43 of the second, 3-yard run by Walker, his second touchdown of the night. Ran a 2 kick, made it 28-6, and then with just 6 seconds to go in the second quarter, the 18-yard touchdown pass to Grooms. Kick was good, making it 35-6 at the half.
And those stats from the first half, and thank you for those, Gary, are brought to you by Peach & Pharmacy inside the downtown Connellsville Peach & Market. We're going to continue our halftime show, which tonight is brought to you by Radcliffe Martin Law Firm. When we come back in just a few minutes, Gary and I will step aside and let you enjoy the halftime shows, as brought to you by the Uniontown Area High School Marching Band, and the Brownsville Area High School Marching Band will rejoin you in about 10 minutes as we continue the halftime show brought to you by Radcliffe Martin Law Firm. Same thing about Brownsville. They were really loud earlier, man. They were really getting it.
It's out.
I did. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Welcome back to Redstone Field here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. And we're going to be continuing our halftime show. Our halftime show is brought to you by Radcliffe. 35-6. And Gary, I know that score may seem lopsided, but it was truly a competitive first half. And considering what the Brownsville Falcons have been through this season with their football program and the battles they've had to fight to get here to tonight, and the work that their coach has done in very limited time, I have to call this a success. I think you would agree.
Absolutely. The Brownsville Falcons have played hard the entire first half and shown a lot of moxie, and especially little guys like Xavier Vargas, the number 2 running back, 5'6", 145 pounds. That guy runs hard, and he's trying to find some holes in there. And the system that Coach Braddock has put in is trying to simplify things with the full house backfield, 2 tight ends, and just trying to push some people, make some holes, and gain some first downs. And you can see that they are improving from the week that they had last week when he only had 2 days before he played the first game, and now a week into it, trying to get things moving in the right direction. That's a positive, no doubt.
Go see Jeff Varney at Wright Honda in Uniontown if you're looking for a new vehicle and don't want to go through all the hassle. Just see Jeff Varney, General Sales Manager at Wright Honda in Uniontown. He's committed to making sure you get the best deal. Call Jeff Varney today, 724-812-2749, WrightHondaCars.com.
George Huck-Rattay, a proud veteran and proud to support the coaches, players, and staff of Uniontown, Laurel Highlands, and Brownsville. George Huck-Rattay, Democratic candidate for PA State Representative in the 51st District, asking everyone for their vote in the November general election. This message has been paid for by the committee to elect George Huck-Rattay.
Misfit Pooch Mobile Spa is a fully mobile dog spa serving Fayette and Westmoreland counties, and they are ready to get your pooch looking great today. Why wait? Make the call to Misfit Pooch Mobile Spa today, 724-912-1127. That's 724-912-1127 for Misfit Pooch Mobile Spa, and get your dog looking great. That's looking great today.
Let's look at the Haunted Hills Estate. Visit the haunting world of the Hill Family Hostel House. Experience sinister sideshows and eerie exhibits in the Twisted Nightmare Freak Show, and journey into the heart of terror on the trail. All of the Haunted Hills Estates are located at 236 Rolling Hills Estates Road in Uniontown. Haunted Hills offers $5 off Fridays with high school football ticket stubs and discounts on Sundays for students. Visit hauntedhillsestate.com for dates and hours of operation, attraction details, and more. 3 attractions, 1 location. Visit if you dare.
Two Brothers Tree and Stump Service promises top quality guaranteed. Are you looking for a reliable, licensed, and insured contractor? You're in the right place. Two Brothers Tree and Stump Service is dedicated to providing top-notch services at affordable prices. They have many years of experience in a wide range of industries, and they always get the job done right. Feel free to get in touch anytime, day or night. Call 724-415-9183 for Two Brothers Tree and Stump Service.
The T. Berry Law Office and attorney Vincent M. T. Berry specialize in criminal defense, wills and estates, family law, and personal injury. The T. Berry Law Office is located at 84 East Main Street, across the street from the Fayette County Courthouse in Uniontown. When you need to consult an attorney, make your first call to attorney Vince M. T. Berry and the T. Berry Law Office. It will be the only call you need to make. Call 724-430-0300. That's 724-430-0300, or visit their new website at tberrylawoffice.com. The T. Berry Law Office, small town, big results.
Welcome back to Redstone Field here in the heart of Fayette County, Brownsville Area School District. The Uniontown Red Raiders leading 35-6 over top of the Brownsville Falcons. The Brownsville Falcons, of course, matched the Red Raiders out of the gate with a long touchdown run by Jaden Praster. The Uniontown Red Raiders were able to take control of the contest after that, but there is still a whole half to play here at Redstone Field. Joshua Scully with you here tonight alongside Gary Frankhauser and Bill Dice behind the camera for us. Bill Dice has done a really good job, of course, all season behind the camera. And as we shared with a few other people, when we got here to Redstone Field tonight, Bill and I brought the equipment up. We got inside the press box. We had some help from the custodial staff. And Bill and I just sort of walked around the press box for a few minutes. We're looking for the stairs. And we're still looking for the stairs. There is no longer an upstairs here at the press box. We're on the top floor, and that was an alteration that was made in the offseason. We're ready to go here with the second half. 12 minutes put back on the clock. David Ranitou ready to send this one off.
So Brownsville will have the first possession here in the second half. Assuming they can catch the ball, it goes out of bounds. That's going to be a good field position for Brownsville, as they're going to get it at the point it went out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
Illegal procedure there against the Uniontown Red Raiders will gift the Brownsville Falcons a pretty favorable starting spot. It looks like that spot will probably be near the Brownsville 43, maybe even the 44-yard line. We'll see exactly where this spot will be. And it looks like we're going to get the 44-yard line.
So that'll get things started for Brownsville. First down. Just underway here in the third quarter. No time went off the clock with that kick, as it was not touched and went out of bounds.
The ball is actually going to be spotted at the 45 at the last second. The official took another step toward Uniontown and dropped the football, and now he's going to move it back several yards. Now they're back.
Well, they give him another 5 on the penalty. So they get the spot where it went out of bounds plus the 5-yard penalty. So again, Uniontown struck with their 7th penalty now for 60 yards.
And if you're Brownsville center Anthony Rico, you may have thought the official was just having a little bit of fun with you there for a moment. He was sort of going in both directions, but we're ready to go now. And the handoff goes to Vargas, and Vargas will
good run.
Twist ahead through a couple of defenders, and he makes the best use of the space he's been given there. Eventually he's brought down by Kellen Milsom. But he will gain the better part of 6 yards out of that, Gary. It's a good start for the Brownsville Falcons into Uniontown territory.
Absolutely. Second down and 4.5.
Brownsville Falcons trying to recapture some of the magic they had in the first quarter when they scored their first touchdown of the season. And, of course, the Falcons looking ahead to a date next week with the Carrick Raiders, who the Falcons were able to defeat last season by 6 points. Vargas again, this time the Uniontown Red Raiders will have no part of extra space for him. Wyatt Dean leading the charge.
Did get about 2.
So the Falcons will be facing third and manageable. That's probably the best word for their current situation. Falcons into Uniontown territory. The Red Raiders good for 35 points in the first half. Pretty impressive effort from Uniontown. The Falcons, though,
trying to get back on the winning side of the ledger for Uniontown.
Yes, absolutely. And the Falcons trying to find some momentum going into the second half of the season. This handoff is going to go to Jaden Praster.
He's going to have a first down, and depending on the spot. He got it, I believe.
Praster is pulled down by Michael Thomas. And also by Uniontown's number 68.
They moved it back about a half a yard, so it's going to be 4th and about an inch.
Leonard Tucker in on that stop, too, and it will be 4th and very short.
Was that Vargas again? It was.
I think that particular carry may have been Praster.
Okay.
Anthony Rico will bring his offensive unit up to the line of scrimmage.
Horbick may be quarterback sneak here. No, they're going to throw a pass. Oh, my gosh.
And there was nothing happening there. David Ranitou was not fooled, and he was all over it, and that's going to be a turnover on downs.
And a big loss. Wow. Big chance there by Brownsville. I'm not quite sure I understand that. They had a 4th and a half a yard with a chance to keep the drive alive and tried to fool Uniontown, and it didn't work.
You'd like to think that Hurbick could have got between Rico and the guard Schumar. There's quite a bit of size between those two players. Got on their hips and fallen forward and probably got it.
It's a 10-yard loss.
Now the Uniontown Red Raiders will offer up a quarterback change here. This is going to be number 12, Cam Dugan. And he's going to hand off to start the Red Raiders' first possession, and managing to stay on his feet here and finding some space. This is Taylor Galloway, who will not go down. And he's eventually pulled to the grass by number 9, a name that we are familiar with, Ahijah Kira Makbar. Kira Makbar had a couple of really good stops for these Falcons in the first half of play. Spot of the ball is now the 40. 9:18 to play in the third quarter.
Gave him 7 on that, or maybe 8. So might see some new faces here in the second half for Uniontown.
That certainly seems to be the case. Dugan will remain in. Here's the snap, and he's going to hand off inside here to number 14, Lateef Brown, but the freshman
lose a couple.
is going to lose a couple yards, and he's pulled down in the backfield. That'll bring up third down. Not a bad idea for Uniontown to mix in some fresh legs here and make sure they preserve the players who have built this lead. Of course, Uniontown does have the bye week coming up, and then they'll travel into Garrett County, Maryland, and face Northern Garrett before playing host to the Connellsville Falcons for the next edition of the Coal Bucket. Dugan ready for the snap. He'll keep this one. He's going to roll out to his left. He's got the whole field ahead of him. He's got a first down and more.
Legal block.
And unfortunately, there is a flag thrown. The Falcons did a nice job there. Had a couple players out of their secondary scramble over. Took a good angle to get ahead of Dugan for a moment. It looked like there was no one ahead of him, but there is a flag on the play.
That'll be their 8th penalty. It's going to get rid of that first down, and it's going to move back. It might be a personal foul. It's an illegal block in the back, a clipping call, but maybe let's see what they mark off. It is a personal foul, so that's 15 yards. 8th penalty for 75 yards for Uniontown.
And that's a difficult break for the Red Raiders. Cam Dugan showing off his legs and mobility there for Uniontown.
It's going to be third down and 14.
The Red Raiders organizing themselves. A couple of players making their way into the formation here. And I do believe it is Galloway and Brown who are in the backfield with Dugan. Here's the snap, and Dugan's going to keep it himself. Galloway out ahead to block. Cam Dugan again. Lots of grass ahead of him. He's got the first down and more, and Cam Dugan finds his way through a couple of defenders. It was number 21, Jordan, for the Brownsville Falcons. That's Neova Jordan, who managed to get a hold of Dugan and eventually pull him down. But Cam Dugan, plenty of speed there for the Red Raider first down.
9 down to the 20. That's a 39-yard run.
And the Red Raiders in business once again. 7:58 to play here in the third quarter. 35-6 your score at the historic Redstone Field. Beautiful night for football. We had some showers earlier, some gusty winds. The winds are still a bit gusty, but otherwise a beautiful Friday here in September. This is Galloway cutting back through the middle of the field, and Taylor Galloway may be taking this one to the house. No, he's denied at the last second by a diving number 3, Jaden Praster.
Down to the 1-yard line, so Galloway with a 19-yard run.
Galloway, the freshman, listed at 5'8", 150. Certainly, showing off some speed there when he cut that ball back and changed direction and caught a lot of the Falcons out of position. Dugan, Galloway, you're deep back here. Dugan's going to hand off inside, and we'll see what happens as a result of the pileup.
I think he made it.
That handoff went to Brown. Brown, also a freshman, listed at 5'10", 170 pounds. He'll be stopped for essentially no gain. Spot of the ball is going to be essentially the half-yard line. No, they'll bring it back all the way to the 1. And that was Brownsville's number 9. Kira Makbar again leading the charge. against Brown. Dugan with Galloway as the back behind him. High snap, Dugan gets it under control, rolls our way, and it's a throw to the back of the end zone, and it's easily caught there by Uniontown's number 7, Anthony Sheffy, the 6'3", 165-pound sophomore. So the Uniontown Red Raiders strike again here with 6:30 to play in the third quarter. The score right now is 41-6 as it currently stands. Last year when these two teams met, Uniontown won both games by marks of 34-8 and 30-0. So the Red Raiders here pouring on a couple of extra points in the second half to increase their total to 41, and getting it done too with some players who were not really involved in the first half. Some freshmen and sophomore players getting a look, and that extra point is good. 42-6. So Uniontown not only showing what they can do here in the third quarter, but showing they can do it with some very different combinations of players. And they drive down the field, overcome a penalty, and are able to complete a pass. Cam Dugan looking pretty sharp there on that completed pass to number 7, Anthony Sheffy.
That makes it 42-6, and that'll trigger the alternative timing now for the remainder of the second half. And that was a 7-play drive, culminated in the 1-yard pass there by Dugan to Sheffy. And the kick was good again, so it's now 42-6. And once again, that drive summary is brought to you by Bartok Lawn Care. The experts in lawn care done right. Bartok Lawn Care.
The Uniontown Red Raiders are going to prepare to kick off here.
Last time they kicked off, it went out of bounds and gave Brownsville some good field position, but unable to sustain any kind of a drive. So Uniontown picked it back up on the change of possession on downs and took it in for the touchdown to make it 42-6.
We want to thank our live video stream sponsors tonight, Stewart Collision Service, LLC, Brewston Chiropractic Studio, allowing this live stream to happen. This one's going to bounce down the middle of the field and past a couple of players until it's scooped up by Vargas, who then loses his footing and falls to the grass here near the 20-yard line with 6:10 to play and counting, with the score 42-6 on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. We'll see what the Brownsville Falcons are able to do this time out.
Well, they did have a chance to continue a drive, the last opportunity on a 4th and a half a yard. Chose to try to fool the Uniontown defense with a pass, drop back pass that resulted in a 10-yard loss, and then Uniontown took over. Some of the backups in for Uniontown, able to continue the offensive prowess and push it in for that score. Not much chance for substitution on the Brownsville side. They have a limited squad.
They do. They get a lot done with the players they have, though. This is going to be Vargas trying to move the pile, and he's going to be driven back by a couple of Uniontown Red Raiders. And again, as Gary mentioned, the Red Raiders have several new players on the defensive side of things as well, although a couple of their stalwarts are still in the midst of that group. We do see some new numbers on the field. Michael Thomas going to come to the sideline here for a breather. He's had a very busy evening, involved on both sides of the ball. It's going to be 2nd and 5 here for the Falcons.
So a good opportunity, as you said earlier, for some of the younger players for Uniontown to get some playing activity. And that will bode well for not only this year, but the coming years for the Uniontown Red Raiders.
This handoff is going to go to Jaden Praster, and Praster runs directly into Notorious Grooms, who, along with a few other Red Raider defenders, drive Praster back. He may have picked up a few yards prior to being knocked backward. We'll see where the official spot is. I think they're going to give him at least a couple of yards on this. It looks like the near official is signaling for the 29-yard line, and that is what he'll be given.
We'll give him 3. 3rd down and 2.
We'll see if the Falcons can't pick up a first down for themselves, as the third quarter now is progressing by very quickly. Under 4 minutes remaining here in the third period of play. 42-6 is your score. The Uniontown Red Raiders hoping to level their record out at 3-3 following this contest. Brownsville on course right now to drop to 0-4. but still not to take anything away from them. A good showing here tonight, and this is going to be a keeper by Horobic.
I think he got it. I think he got it. Depends on the spot. They're giving him the first down.
And it does look like he will get a favorable spot there and a first down for the Brownsville Falcons. Nice effort there by Horobic. And, Gary, I think that's the kind of play we thought we were going to see on the last drive,
yes,
where you just let him fall forward. Brownsville has some size on that offensive line, and they can definitely move some bodies. That's not to take away anything from Uniontown, who has quite a bit of size on their defensive line, but that should be a strength, I think, for the Falcons. We'll see if they try to capitalize on that again here. Horobic under center. He's going to collide with his running back and then manages to hand it off to Vargas just in time for Vargas to be swallowed up.
Yeah, just a little confusion on that play. They broken up at the backfield when the quarterback and running back ran into each other, so that's going to be a short 1-yard gain there for Vargas. His 11th carry. He has 33 yards.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Brownsville Falcons, who are still huddled up. The Uniontown Red Raiders otherwise ready to go. 2:25 to play. Of course, as Gary pointed out a few minutes ago, now with the score being what it is, you can expect to see the time progress much more quickly. Will be probably under 2 minutes by the time this play is brought to a conclusion. Bryce Horobic under center, and he's going to hand it off here to Vargas, and Vargas drags a couple of Red Raiders with him. He may pick up a few yards as a result of this play. It looks like he's going to get the 35-yard line as a spot.
We'll give him 3.
3rd down, and again, the Falcons keeping this a manageable 3rd down situation. We've seen them in this position a few times already this evening. The Falcons, of course, in no hurry, just looking to sustain a drive. Offensive line coming set for the Falcons. 3 down defenders for the Red Raiders. This handoff is again going to go to Vargas. I believe that's Vargas in the midst of all of that traffic.
At the point of attack, he broke a couple tackles. The initial contact did not bring him down, bounced off that tackler, and gets it all the way out to the 43-yard line. That's about a 7-yard pickup.
Good job there by Vargas, who continues to show off some of that quickness, and he's really pretty elusive too. You tend to lose track of him as he moves through the pile.
That's for sure. I think the same thing with Praster, as we saw on that long run. Found himself in the clog of carriers, or players, just popped out on the other side.
Elijah Booker has not returned to this game. We hope he's okay. Here's Praster. Speaking of him, he's got some room on the outside. And Gary, look out. He's got the 40, cuts back to the 35, and finally the Red Raiders are going to catch him at about the 32-yard line. Coming all the way downfield to get involved in that stop was number 74, Aiden Kiefer, along with a few other Red Raiders. But a great gain there for Praster. That's his 2nd long run tonight.
24 yards.
Looked really sharp there, catching the corner and taking it into Red Raider territory. That's going to do it here for the 3rd quarter at the historic Redstone Field. The Uniontown Red Raiders hold a 42-6 advantage, but the Brownsville Falcons are driving here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. You're listening to the WMBS Facebook live stream. We want to thank Gary Frankhauser and Bill Dice for being with us this evening. Our live stream sponsor is tonight Stewart Collision Service, LLC, and Brewston Chiropractic Studio.
That's a 7th carry for Praster, and he's now over 100 yards, 110 yards, basically on 2 big runs.
Praster did get it done with 2 long carries. That's to say the very least. The one, of course, he took to the house. When we come back, we'll see what Brownsville is able to do here in the 4th quarter of play.
Summer fun can be rough on your lawn. Brown patches, stubborn weeds, feeling defeated? Don't worry. Bartok Lawn Care is here to help, offering custom blended fertilization and weed control programs to revive your tired lawn. Also running incredible fall aeration and overseeding specials for new and existing customers. Locally owned and operated. Contact Jared at 724-366-3303 or visit BartalkLawnCare.com for more information.
Are you looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com, and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. And we're ready for the fourth quarter of play here at Redstone Field. The Brownsville Falcons working left to right as we describe it in their black and white uniform. Handoff inside here, and we've got a good gainer for the Falcons. Finally getting tripped up.
That's number 5.
That's going to be Omarion Grayson.
His first carry.
And he got the very most out of it, plowing into a couple of Red Raiders and nearly having a first down there. I think we're going to probably say this is second and a long one for the Falcons. Great work there by Grayson. He's replacing Elijah Booker. We are hopeful Booker is okay. He was injured in the first half.
Second down and 1.
Grayson going to take his place again along with Praster and Vargas.
That's
And
a good
we'll have
hard
flag.
count. It's going to be offside on Uniontown. Hard count by the quarterback. Just drew all of the defenders offside.
He did get the better part of the defensive front there for the Red Raiders. Bryce Hurbick has done a good job tonight for Brownsville, really on both sides of the ball. He's been involved defensively as well, working in the secondary for the Falcons, and this is going to bring the spot of the ball to the Uniontown 19. So the Falcons, who earlier tonight scored their first touchdown of the season, are looking for a second score here, and they are in business, 1st and 10 inside the 20. And Hurbick going to turn back and shout out the last few words to Praster, who then conveys the message to Vargas. Here's the snap and the handoff to Praster. Praster tried to bounce this one outside, and he will. He's in for the touchdown.
19-yard touchdown run with 10:16 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Jaden Praster has been the
Second
home run hitter
touchdown.
tonight for the Brownsville Falcons. Every time he touches the ball, something explosive happens. He's had 3 long gainers tonight. That was one of them. And the Falcons again find their way into the end zone with 10:16 to play here in quarter number 4. Your score is 42-12. And we'll see what the Falcons decide to do here with the conversion forthcoming. They'll huddle up. The Uniontown Red Raiders still holding on to a 30-point advantage. But certainly the Falcons have looked pretty good here
Shown
tonight,
some mettle,
Gary.
that's for sure.
They have looked good, and I'm excited for them next week with their matchup against the Carrick Raiders. I think that's a spot
Winnable
where
game, definitely.
where Brownsville can really succeed.
I'm sure they'll have some more precision after another week of practice, that they can put in some things that maybe they didn't have. 2-point conversion is good now. That was
Vargas is in.
Vargas.
2-point conversion is good with 10:16 to play. Your score, Uniontown 42 and Brownsville 14 here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School sports night. Are you looking for a fast, friendly notary service that is open in the evening? Sandy Howe Notary Services, LLC, located on Dry Knob Road in Smithfield, is here for your vehicle, boat, motorcycle, ATV registrations, and transfers. Plate renewals and more. They offer new PA and Maryland plates and West Virginia title applications. They serve Uniontown, Smithfield, Fairchance, and all surrounding areas. Open weekdays 10 to 8:30, Saturdays 9 to 5. Sandy Howe Notary Services, Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you by name.
Is your heat on the fritz? Has your AC stopped working? Are your pipes backed up? I hope not. For all your heating, air conditioning, electric, and plumbing emergencies, CHIPS Residential Services is here for you. Located in Uniontown and offering 24-hour emergency services, call 724-366-8046 for those such emergencies and get the help you need today from CHIPS Residential Services.
Welcome back to Redstone Field. Joshua Scully alongside Gary Frankhauser tonight. Bill Dice behind the camera for us. On the field to kick off is number 33, Larry Wade. The Brownsville Falcons have just scored for the second time this evening and currently trail 42-14.
Sure, this will be an attempt at an onside kick.
Right now, the Brownsville Falcons have nothing to lose. They've had a pretty fruitful game, offensively speaking. And Wade is going to bounce this one to about the Uniontown 30, where it is scooped up. And on the return for Uniontown, this is going to be number 8, Taylor Galloway, who is flashing some of his athleticism. And he may be gone. He's got the 20, the 10, the 5, and this is another Uniontown Red Raider touchdown. Taylor Galloway taking it to the house.
I'm going to call that a 70-yard touchdown return by Taylor Galloway on the squib kick that looked like it was going to be effective for the Brownsville Falcons, but after he picked it up, went out to his right and just outran the Brownsville kick team in for the score with 9:54 to go here in the fourth.
And that's the second time tonight that the freshman Taylor Galloway, listed at 5'8", 150 pounds, has shown off his ability to cut back with the football. He had a long run on the previous Uniontown possession that nearly went for a touchdown, where he cut back and really caught all of the Falcons drifting too far to their right. This time he cuts back and catches all the Falcons doing the same thing again and beats them to the sideline, takes it to the house, and Uniontown leads 48-14.
Looking for the extra point team. Some of the regulars were already had their helmets off and were standing on the sideline. Had to get there. Comes some more of the extra point team that didn't realize what they needed.
David Ranatu on to send this one through. He's been perfect so far, and he's going to remain that way too as he sends this one through the uprates. 49-14 is your score here at Redstone Field in favor of the Uniontown Red Raiders. You're listening to the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night here. Uniontown 49, Brownsville 14. When we come back, still nearly 10 minutes to play here at Redstone Field.
Mark on Building Supply. The tri-state area leading ready-mix concrete provider and building supplies. For decades, they have been supplying these services to our area. Family owned and operated and built on a foundation of trust, integrity, and exceptional quality. Marcon is your local leader for ready-mix concrete, precast, lumber, tools, electrical, plumbing, lawn care, and general building supply needs. Visit the store in Markleysburg or call Marcon at 724-329-5542. Marcon Building Supply, your one-stop shop for all your home building and construction needs.
Magisterial District Judge Nathan Henning extends his best wishes to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, the Uniontown Red Raiders, and all of our local teams for a great season. District Judge Nathan Henning recognizes that a successful season requires teamwork, and it's the result of the hard work of the players and coaches and the support of their families that make the season happen. Good luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs and Uniontown Red Raiders from District Judge Nathan Henning. Welcome back here on a C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. This ball is going to be scooped up by the Falcons after it takes a few bounces, and the Uniontown Red Raiders will pursue the returner out of bounds. There is a flag on the play.
Late hit out of bounds, and that's going to give an additional 15 yards to the Brownsville Falcons. Personal foul. And as they march that off, we'll tell you about Peachin Pharmacy. Would you like to have this pharmacy experience? You pull up, walk a short distance to the counter, wait a very short time for your prescription, ask questions, and still pay the same copay as you would at a large chain store. Experience that at Peachin Pharmacy inside Peachin Market in downtown Connellsville. They also offer the lowest cost available, free prescription delivery, and an app to manage your prescriptions. Visit Peachin Pharmacy or online at peachinpharmacy.com.
Ball will be spotted at midfield for the Brownsville Falcons with 9:30 and counting remaining in the contest. Uniontown leading 49-14. The Falcons still in the huddle, going to see if they can't repeat the success they enjoyed on the previous drive. They labored their way down the field with several different run combinations, found their way into the end zone. Jaden Praster again performing the feat. The Uniontown Red Raiders responded just now with a kick return by Taylor Galloway, that was good for 70 yards. Here's a handoff again to Praster. This time Praster going to be wrapped up and pulled down. Tayshawn Jackson on the stop. Gain of maybe 3 yards on the play for Praster, who's had a busy evening. He's over the century mark tonight. 8:48 remaining in the contest. This will be second and about 7, maybe 7.5 for the Brownsville Falcons, and there is a flag down on the grass.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Brownsville. Wow. You don't need that at this point, that's for sure.
No, you do not. That's going to negate the little bit of yardage here gained by Praster. And we'll see exactly, although the Uniontown Red Raiders are backing up.
He pointed the wrong way, maybe.
And this is going to be a favor to the Brownsville Falcons.
So unsportsmanlike on Uniontown. I saw one of the Uniontown Red Raiders coming off the field like kind of dejected. So that's their 10th penalty for 95 yards. Not what you want to see.
The Uniontown Red Raiders will now see if they can keep the Falcons off the scoreboard here with 8:30 to play. The Red Raiders have really suffered at times tonight from some penalties. They've also had some explosive plays too. Here's Grayson on the outside. Omarion Grayson, one man to beat. He's going to be hit into the pylon.
And he hit the pylon.
And the
touchdown.
is a touchdown. Omarion Grayson.
34 yards out for Grayson. Just outran the Raiders defense on that right side, and just his second carry. 34 yards.
And the Brownsville Falcons have struck for their third touchdown of the season and of the evening. Omarion Grayson really getting it done. And Gary, I was just about to say the Uniontown Red Raiders have had some really tremendous plays tonight, some big explosive plays. We just saw one with the kick return. They have had the penalties, which have worked against them, but the Brownsville Falcons have been something of the home run hitter here tonight. They have had some explosive plays of their own.
Absolutely. That's something that Uniontown's going to need to work on in film to make sure it doesn't happen again. A 2-point conversion, he's in.
And that's a keeper. Bryce Hurbeck is in. And that's going to make it 49-22. Gary, you know, coming here this evening to Redstone Field, I thought we would see some big plays. I thought we would see some points. I didn't know that we would see 71 points.
I had the under, too.
When we come back, the Brownsville Falcons will be kicking off to the Uniontown Red Raiders here on the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. Where can you go these days and have your gas pumped for you, oil checked, and windshield cleaned? Joby's Golf, that's where. Joby's Golf is conveniently located at the corner of Fayette and Beeson Boulevard. Joby's Golf is a fast, friendly, full-service gas station that has been serving the Uniontown area for over 49 years. Joby's Golf offers lockout services, a fenced-in storage lot, and is a AAA 24-hour car and light truck towing service. Call 724-438-0681 for Joby's Golf.
Two Brothers Pizza. Are you ready to indulge in the best pizza around? Are you looking for a lunch or dinner spot with all your favorite Italian classics, coupled with mouth-watering daily specials? Then it's time to visit 2G Brothers Pizza, located at 123 Matthew Drive in Uniontown. Specials, customer favorites, chicken favorites, Parmesan, 724-439-5600 as Brownsville kicks off to Uniontown.
And the Red Raiders not quite able to repeat the feat from the previous kick return, as Brownsville is pretty quick on top of that one. 8 minutes to play here, as Brownsville has been good for 2 touchdowns in the second half. The Red Raiders still lead 49-22. Plenty to be pleased with if you're the Uniontown Red Raiders, especially in that first half. Some big runs by Walker. Calvin Winfrey looking very, very sharp as the quarterback. Winfrey had a rushing touchdown as the quarterback tonight and had one called back on a penalty. But the Red Raiders able to flex their muscles in the second quarter, especially here tonight.
Just 3 carries for Winfrey for 60 yards.
Averaging 20 yards every time you carry the football. Not too bad.
That counted. 3 that counted. He had 7.
Right.
Couple more that
and the 35-yard touchdown he had called back.
Right.
So he would be near the century mark himself had that play been able to stick. Right now the Uniontown Red Raiders hashing out a play call with 7:07 to play. Here's the snap, and the handoff is going to go, and bouncing it outside. And with some room to work for the Uniontown Red Raiders, great carry there. That's going to be number 20. That's Tayshawn Jackson. Jackson, the sophomore, listed at 5'9" and 140 pounds. He's good for a first down. and he's into Brownsville Falcon territory. The Uniontown Red Raiders have a bye week next week before they venture into Maryland. They will go to Garrett County and face the Northern Garrett Huskies, then play host to Connellsville and Southern Garrett. So they'll see a couple of teams from Maryland in their near future. Brownsville actually ends their season with an opponent from Maryland. They've already played a couple of teams from Ohio. Here's Jackson again, speeding his way, yes, through the middle, tackled by Jonathan Vassbinder. Good work there by Jackson. Tayshawn Jackson now with the hot hand for the Red Raiders.
A 12-yard run after a 16-yard run, 2 carries for 28 yards.
And you really love to see for the Uniontown Red Raiders some of these newer players.
Nate Heiss also in there now.
Yeah, running as the quarterback. This sort of new blood for the Red Raiders. Some underclassmen. Looking pretty good, too.
This will be Heiss on a keeper, trying to dance his way through.
And he's eventually going to be corralled by Brownsville's number 70, Michael Olry. Also there, number 64, Cameron Schumar. Really got to tip your cap to this Brownsville offensive and defensive line. It's really the same makeup of players. And I know that's true to an extent on the Uniontown side, too. But for this Brownsville side, these young men have been out there all night battling. And in a game that's included a lot of rushing, you know, the work by the offensive and defensive line has been especially critical. 5:08 to play. Here's the snap to Heiss. He wants to keep it again. He's going to come our way. He needs to beat a couple of players.
He's going to lose ground this time.
And he's going to be wrapped up and then thrown to the ground. And there's no flag, and now there's some pushing and shoving, and this is
not what you want to see. Not
correct.
What you want. Get these players off the field. Players should not be coming on the field from the bench. That should be the first priority. Just get rid of it.
And some cooler heads are going to prevail here.
Not necessary with 4:53 to go. He did throw him down a little bit hard, but he wanted to make sure he got him to the ground, and that just led to the altercation. But it's going to be against Brownsville, I think.
Elijah Kira Makbar, who's been involved in a lot of stops, throwing Heiss to the grass at the conclusion of that play. And I agree, Gary, I don't think Akira Makbar quite meant to be that physical, but I think to Heiss it probably seemed that way. And thankfully, we're going to see some.
It's going to be 3rd down and about 5.
Composure return to the proceedings, which is always a good thing to see. You really want to see these two teams in the light of support, both independent programs. Of course, Uniontown just a few weeks away from seeing the Connellsville Falcons, also an independent program in Fayette County. And you really had a strong sense of support, and I think that's continued throughout this game, a strong sense of support between these two teams.
Let's get the clock started. There we go.
4:50 to play here. It's going to be Cam Dugan. And I'm going to correct myself. That's not Dugan. That's actually number 16, Thomas, trying to find some room on the outside.
Making a mess of my stat sheet.
Thomas, the sophomore, listed at 5'9", 150 pounds. And we'll confirm as to who the Red Raiders will have in the backfield here. Some new players coming on. Thomas appears to be making his way off. And I'm going to correct myself. Thomas will remain under center here. Snap goes to him. It's a high snap. He gets it under control nicely. Hands off to Jackson. And Jackson bounces it outside. He's got enough for the first down. And he goes out of bounds with 3:50 to play. Fayette County Recorder of Deeds, John Marietta, would like to wish all of our local high school football teams a great season. His office is located inside the Fayette County Courthouse on East Main Street in Uniontown. To contact Recorder of Deeds John Marietta, please phone 724-430-1238. Have a great high school football season and a fall season from Fayette County Recorder of Deeds John Marietta.
Well, that's going to be another penalty. Like offside on the defense that time.
And they're going to call actually a false start against the Uniontown Red Raiders.
Wow. Well, I think that's a result of being ahead 49-22, but
And this will be marked down, and it looks like the ball is going to be spotted at the 21.
1st and 15. Get a first down at about the 6-yard line.
And here's the handoff. This is going to be Jackson again. Boy, he is
looked
good.
He
loses the football. And he made a great move there to get back to the middle of the field, but has the ball poked out. And it's going to be picked up by Brownsville's number 64, Cameron Schumar. And so with 2:56 to play, it's going to be Brownsville football.
Well, tried to get a little too much on that one and had it knocked loose. Nice play by the Brownsville defender who just punched the ball out and got on it for the turnover.
Looks like we're going to be spotting this one right about the 17.5, or very near that, with 2:50 to play. Uniontown shipping on a few new bodies. Liam Smith, number 62, the sophomore.
We only got 10 out there. Here goes number 11.
A couple of more Red Raiders. Harry Evans among them, finding their way onto the field.
Now we're going to have a timeout called by Brownsville. I think they're just going to want to talk it over a little bit and give us a chance to hear from a few more of our sponsors here on the C. Harper Sports Night.
I agree. Since 1976, Davis & Davis has represented people and not insurance companies. Our lawyers have experience in litigating or settling personal injury claims, medical malpractice cases, and wrongful death actions. Together with domestic, real estate, workers' compensation, and municipal law experience throughout decades of work, Davis & Davis has successfully represented thousands of cases in local, state, and federal courts. For more information on how Davis & Davis can help you, phone 724-437-2799.
And we want to make sure you remember about Haunted Hills Estates. Visit the haunting world of the Hill Farm Hostel House. Experience sinister sideshows and eerie exhibits in the Twisted Nightmare Freak Show and journey through the heart of terror on the trail. All of the Haunted Hills Estates are located at 236 Rolling Hills Estates Road in Uniontown. Haunted Hills offers $5 off Fridays with high school football ticket stubs and discounts on Sundays for students. Visit hauntedhillsestates.com for dates and hours of operation and attraction details.
Brownsville, handoff here coming our way, and some room to work again for Brownsville. Flashing it on the ground. This is Jonathan Vassbinder. Vassbinder going to eventually be thrown out of bounds by number 9, Nate Heiss.
And that's from the 18-yard line out to the 46.
Good gainer.
37-yard pickup for Vassbinder.
Vassbinder, one of several players listed as potential tight ends on this Brownsville Falcon team. 1:43 to play. The question now is going to be,
that's a tight end around.
Yes, that's, I suppose, what you call it. The question now is, can the Falcons figure out how to put another score on the board here with about 90 seconds to play? I think if they are able to do that, this successful night for the Brownsville Falcons becomes a really, really rewarding effort.
Never consider a defeat completely successful, but you have to be positive about the effort here tonight. And there's a good run up the middle. He could
and
go.
And this is Vargas. Vargas breaks away. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. It's Xavier Vargas in the end zone for the Brownsville Falcons.
55-yard run by Xavier Vargas.
I have seen at the circus the human cannonball, and that is what Xavier Vargas looked like. He looked like he was genuinely a missile, a projectile fired out of a cannon, and that was after he had been hit a few times. He breaks away and takes it to the house for the Brownsville Falcons.
He's at 98 yards, 14 carries, 98 yards. Xavier Vargas, what an effort by him tonight.
The Brownsville Falcons have just not given up here coming into this second half with just 6 points to their credit. Of course, it was off a great play in that first half, but here in the second half, they've been good for 22 so far. And they're looking.
They've been successful on these 2-point conversions.
Yes, they're looking to make it an even 30 points tonight. Hurbeck going to drop back, throws to his right, and this one is
in the dirt.
Going to be incomplete. They wanted Jaden Praster, and the Uniontown Red Raiders had that one covered pretty well anyway. So your score, 49-28 here at Redstone Field on a C. Harper Auto Group High School sports night. Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance that stays put until you change your car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good coverage. Now that's something to smile about. Your Erie agent at Uniontown and Rostraver Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sproulsinsurance.com. Erie Rate Lock is not guaranteed. Continued insurance coverage is not available in all states.
They're going to say it's over? Why? I don't understand this.
And it does look like
there's 1:04 left on the clock. And I'm not sure what the reason for this is, but we've seen this 2 weeks in a row, some agreement between the coaching staff and the administration to call the game complete. I'm not sure why they would do this, but, I mean, they could finish it up appropriately. And Coach Jeffries is walking across, and he's going to shake hands with Vaughn Braddock. And that is going to be the ball game, and they're going to let the clock run. So it's going to be a final at 49-28. And we're going to be back here on the C. Harper Sports Night on WMBS Facebook Live to give you the post-game statistics and post-game activity after you hear a few more of our sponsors.
We're going to start off tonight with the First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County as we move into the post-game show. Savings as easy as 1, 2, 3 with Education Club savings account at First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Your future dreams will start adding up. Plus, you can qualify for a scholarship upon high school graduation. Visit any First Federal branch to start saving today. For more information on account rules and scholarship eligibility, visit firstfederalofgreene.com. Best wishes to our local teams from First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, NMLS number 458729, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And our postgame show, which we're going to get underway in just a moment, is of course brought to you tonight by the Peach and Pharmacy. They'll be sponsoring our statistics. You can find the Peach and Pharmacy inside the downtown Connellsville Peach and Market. This game brought to a conclusion about a minute early, but we might assume that that is done for the safety of the players. We did have a couple of injuries tonight, primarily on the Brownsville side of the ball, and we're really hopeful that everyone is okay. We know a few players did not return to the contest, and so we're especially hopeful for them tonight, and certainly for this Brownsville Falcons team that looked pretty good in the second half and good out of the gate as well. We hope that they are back to full health to take on the Carrick Raiders next week. For the Uniontown Red Raiders, it's a week off and a week to recover and get themselves ready for the home stretch of the season where we'll take on Northern Garrett from Maryland. In addition to Connellsville, that, of course, is another rivalry game as those teams will play for the Coal Bucket, and they'll wrap their season up against Southern Garrett, also from Garrett County, Maryland. And we're hopeful, of course, that everyone on the Uniontown side of the ball, although I don't think we saw too many significant injuries on the Uniontown side, we're hopeful, too, that everyone on that side is good. It was great to see David Ranatu back for Uniontown. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic on a regular basis. All insurance accepted, experienced therapists, convenient location and hours, part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500. Before we turn it back over to Gary, we want to share one more sponsorship with you. Are you looking for a fast, friendly notary service that is open in the evening? Sandy Howe Notary Services, LLC, located on Dry Knob Road in Smithfield, is here for your vehicle, boat, motorcycle, and ATV registrations and transfers, plate renewals, and more. They offer new PA and Maryland plates and West Virginia title applications. They serve Uniontown, Smithfield, Fairchance, and all surrounding areas. Open weekdays 10 to 8:30, Saturdays 9 to 5. Sandy Howe Notary Services, Dry Knob Road in Smithfield, 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you by name. Welcome back to Redstone Field, where the Uniontown Red Raiders have just defeated the Brownsville Falcons by a score of 49-28. You're listening to another edition of the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night, and this is Joshua Scully alongside Gary Frankhauser. We're going to turn it over to Gary, who has some statistics tonight as part of our postgame show brought to you by Peach and Pharmacy.
This statistics are a little bit interesting, to say the least, and for Brownsville, they end up with 319 total yards, all on the ground here this evening. And Jaden Praster, with some dynamic long runs, ends up with 9 carries with 131 yards. Xavier Vargas turned it on in the second half and also had some dynamic runs. He had 79 yards in the second half, finishes with 14 carries for 98 yards. Herbeck, the quarterback, ended up negative yardage, but that was due to a couple losses. Booker had 3 carries for 3 yards. Jonathan Bassbinder, 2 carries for 40 yards. And Cameron Grayson, 2 carries for 43 yards. So some big plays on the Brownsville side gets them up to 319 total rushing yards for the game. For Uniontown, not much happening in the second half. So they did have 194 yards rushing. They ended up with 301 total yards for the game. They did not throw any. They did have the one pass from Dugan for the touchdown in the second half. So he gained the 1-yard pass for the touchdown. So they end up with 301 total yards. Leading the way was Walker with 11 carries for 103 yards. Thomas, 3 carries for 23. Winfrey, 3 carries for 60 yards. And they really had a lot of substitutions in the second half, so that resulted in the difference in the yardage in the second half. But the scoring in the second half for Uniontown at the 6:38 mark of the third, it's a 1-yard pass that we referred to earlier, 7-play drive, made it 42-6, and that got the clock moving on the alternative timing for the remainder of the game. They scored again at 9:54 on Galloway at the 70-yard kick return that made it 49-14 at that point, as Brownsville had scored previously in the second half at 10-16. That was the Praster 19-yard run. Vargas, a 2-point conversion at that point. That made it 42-14. At 8:17, Grayson, 34-yard run. The 2-point conversion was good, made it 49-22 at that point. And then the last score, 104, Vargas from 55 yards out. Point was no good, making it our final 49-28.
And Brownsville, I think, has a lot to be proud of tonight, Gary, but that first touchdown run and the last touchdown run were my favorite for them. You had the long run by Praster that really opened things up and kept Brownsville in the game for a while, showed what they could do, and then Vargas on this last touchdown for the Falcons was the definition of a spark plug. He just came flying out of the pack and took off, and the crowd loved it. I was so glad to see everyone here for the Brownsville Falcons really having an opportunity to get behind and support their team. That's what tonight's game was all about. These two independent programs here battling, doing it because they want to, and showing off on both sides, Uniontown and Brownsville, what they're able to do. When we come back here on the postgame show, we're going to defer to Gary one more time, and he is going to give us his First Federal Savings and Loan Association play of the game. The T-Berry Law Office and attorney Vincent M. T-Berry specializes in criminal defense, wills and estates, family law, and personal injury. The T-Berry Law Office is located at 84 East Main Street, across the street from the Fayette County Courthouse in Uniontown. When you need to consult an attorney, make your first call to attorney Vince M. T-Berry
there go my
and the
stats.
T-Berry Law Office. It'll be the only call you need to make. Call 724-430-0300. That's 724-430-0300, or visit their new website at tberrylawoffice.com. The T-Berry Law Office, small town, big results. That's the T-Berry Law Office in criminal defense, wills and estates, family law, and personal injury. Welcome back to Redstone Field, where a gust of wind has just sort of played some games with our paperwork here, but we are going to return to Gary Frankhauser for our First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County play of the game.
On the Brownsville side, I don't think there's any question. The play of the game was the touchdown run with 9:10 to go in the first quarter. First possession by Brownsville, 79-yard run by Jaden Praster. that brought Brownsville to within one at 7-6 at that point, and that just really started things going in a lot of good directions on both sides of the ball. We saw a lot of dynamics plays. And looking at the Uniontown side, I'm going to give that one to Winfrey. 7:22 of the second quarter, 45-yard run that really capped things off and made it 21-6 at that point after the play. So his play of the game moved Uniontown up with that control of the game, and we're going to give him the play of the game from the Uniontown side.
Excellent. Do you or someone you know need in-home support? Let Caring Mission Home Care be your solution. They provide assistance with daily living activities. Caring Mission employs insured aides and now offers certified dementia practitioners for in-home Alzheimer's care. Caring Home Mission Care, 724-439-7656, or visit thecaringmission.com for more information. In a world of big corporations, there is something special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and putting the community first. Come experience the Mike Kelly difference today. When you buy from the Mike Kelly Automotive Group, you buy from family. And finally tonight, we want to thank the George Dental Associates. Are you looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker for George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years' experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com, and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. Gary, any final thoughts at the conclusion of this one?
This was a fun one. We had a lot of dynamic plays, a lot of athletic plays, and seeing Brownsville show some spark is really exciting down here in Republic, and Uniontown with their athletes just getting better every week also. Coming off that loss to Albert Gallatin, they showed that they really have some ability to put some points up on the board, and great things to happen for them the remainder of the season.
Thank you very much, Gary, for being with us tonight. For Gary Frankhauser and Bill Dice, this is Joshua Scully. Thank you for checking out the WMBS Facebook live stream. Brownsville 28, Uniontown 49. You will hear us again next time.